Milan, that she is not appearing. Just a while back from now, a representative from K. Kavitha has come to the ED headquarters. We are expecting that communication has been sent by K. Kavitha that why she won't appear today. Now, as far as whether it is going to benefit ED or not, of course it is going to benefit the ED so far the case is concerned, because remember, in past what we have seen, that if any person, any suspect or any witness, if they start skipping the summons, it means that the ED has the upper hand. And why I'm saying this, because in past what we have seen is that the ED uses such excuses, skipping summons or any excuses, they uses before the court in their legal fight, and they always blame it on the suspect that because they want to hide certain information, because they do not want to participate in the questioning, they are not appearing before the agency, and this is why the ED will have an upper hand. Of course, as far as the last communication of K. Kavitha was concerned, remember, it was K. Kavitha who told the ED officials on 9th of March that she is free after 15th March. They can summon her after 15th March. She was called on March 11 for questioning in connection with this case. But so far, this skipping of summons is going to against K. Kavitha. ED sources are telling India Today that they have strong evidence against K. Kavitha. K. Kavitha was involved in 100 crore rupees of bribery. She held several meetings with the Aam Aadmi Party communication in charge Vijay Nair regarding the liquor licenses, regarding the stake in Indo-Spirit company, regarding the representation Arun Pillai was making on her behalf. So there are several evidences which the ED is claiming at this point of time. But certainly, once again, I'll request my camera person to show you the visuals of ED headquarters outside. You can see still there are security forces. A person from K. Kavitha's team has come to the ED office only to give a communication or a letter saying that K. Kavitha won't be appearing. We already have a confirmation that K. Kavitha won't appear. The exact reason of her excuse of not coming to ED office, it is yet not known to us, but ED sources are saying that once they receive the communication, a fresh summon will be issued, because it was K. Kavitha who had told the ED officials saying that I am free after March 15, you can call. That is why she was called for today, that is March 16, but she is not appearing today, and the ED will issue a fresh summon. As far as the arresting of K. Kavitha is concerned, Nabila, it becomes very important at this point of time. ED claims they have sufficient evidence against K. Kavitha. Whether they want to arrest K. Kavitha or not, it is still not clear. But K. Kavitha, in her petition before the Supreme Court, had anticipated that if she appears today, she will be arrested by the agency. Nabila.
It's surprising that K. Kavitha's team, we believe, are set to hold a press conference but do not have time enough to appear before the Enforcement Directorate. Milan also joining us on that. Milan, is it likely that Kavitha might hold a press conference? That's what we hear from sources, that her team are gearing up for an elaborate presser, but she does not think it's important to appear before the Enforcement Directorate. Also, would you know the reason that she's quoted or cited to the ED on why she won't be able to make it?
Absolutely, Nabila. So we on India Today broke this news first, that K. Kavitha will not be going to the Enforcement Directorate today. Of course, as Munish was earlier mentioning, one of the reasons that she has mentioned that she will not be questioned by the ED today, in fact she will not go, is also because she has said that the ED matter is pending in the Supreme Court. There's an application that has been filed by Kavitha's legal team in the Supreme Court, which is due to be heard on March 24th. Of course, the legal representatives of Kavitha, as we speak, have already reached the Enforcement Directorate office. One of the many reasons that Kavitha was also being questioned on was also destruction of evidences. So it was said that there were about 10 phones that were destructed or were destroyed by Kavitha's team. That was again a charge put forward by the Enforcement Directorate. That is one big question that came forward. Of course, we were hearing hearing that Kavitha would come forward and speak to the media this morning. Of course, that has also not happened. What we know from her sources and her team inside, that she has been seeking legal opinion since yesterday, since after the Women's Reservation Bill meet happened, the roundtable happened yesterday, and she has also been told that she doesn't need to go to the Enforcement Directorate today. The fact that the matter is pending in Supreme Court, the hearing of the Supreme Court will happen on March 24th, and whatever documentation was required by the Enforcement Directorate officers has been sent through her lawyers today. So in all this, of course, second day of questioning was supposed to happen for Kavitha. She has not gone, and the reason squarely is being put on the fact by our legal team.
Milind, in fact, the visuals that we see on the right-hand side of our screens is basically K. Kavitha's representative. If you could see the ED office right there, we're going to cut across to the man who's representing K. Kavitha, who's arrived at the ED office. He is submitting this letter of request asking the ED for to allow her to skip summons today because the matter is pending in the Supreme Court. I'm going to cut across to that visual there. We played that out for you where Kavitha's representative has just reached the ED office. This was precisely the time, around 11 a.m., that Kavitha had to appear before the ED office herself. But it appears that instead her representative has now reached the ED office asking, or rather declaring that she's going to be skipping summons. Milan, on that for more. Milan, from what we know, the Supreme Court had initially refused to step in, grant any relief against appearing before the Enforcement Directorate. So, yes, the matter is pending before court, but she was yet still due to appear today and be part of the questioning. How exactly has this turned around, and what kind of request has her representative put? If you could elaborate for us yet again.
Well, of course, see, K. Kavitha has put forward a request to the Supreme Court. She said that, first of all, she being a woman, she should be allowed to be questioned within her house premises. That is Telangana Chief Minister KCR's residence, the official residence in Delhi. Other than that, of course, the plea was put forward in the Supreme Court for an urgent hearing. That having said, the plea was accepted by Supreme Court and a date of March 24th has been set for the hearing. Now, between such time, there's almost a week there. And of course, if she had gone for the questioning today, according to the legal representatives, and as my colleague Munish Pandey, who covers the agencies, has also said that there was a doubt somewhere that she might just get arrested today. Of course, taking the opinion of a legal team here that has been sitting on a crackdown since last night, since last evening, it was decided early morning today that Kavitha will not be appearing before the ED for the summons on the second day. In fact, there were documentations that were asked to be sent from the ED offices. A representative has already been sent to the ED office with these documentations. The allegations of Kavitha being one of the key members of the South Cartel has been put forward, and of course the destruction of evidence has also come in play. And there are other reasons. When Arun Pillai was also questioned, Dinesh Aroda's statements also says that K. Kavitha is one of the key members of the South Cartel, and all this combined, her legal advisors have today told her that she does not need to go to the Enforcement Directorate office. How it plays out in the eyes of the Enforcement Directorate and then in the Supreme Court is something we'll have to wait and see, Nabila, because of the fact that this entire matter is now also in the apex court of the country, and as well as it could be possible that another plea or representation could be sent by Kavitha's team to the Supreme Court. I'm not confirming this right now, but this is what we've heard could happen. That's not happened likely, but of course today as day stands as it is, she will not be going to the ED. Of course, we are still waiting on a word from Kavitha's team whether or not she'll actually come out and address the media. Even the MPs and the MLAs, who usually are very vocal about supporting Kavitha, were told not to speak outside to the media, and they've all gone to the parliament. So a complete hush-hush day today outside Kavitha's residence here in Delhi.
All right, Milan, stay with us. I'm going to cut across to Munish on that. Munish, she's been called in under Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which means that she'll have to produce evidence, documentation, etc. Do you believe, not casting aspersions here, but K. Kavitha, if not guilty, she's been slamming the ED that it's being misused by the BJP, etc. If not guilty, appear before the Enforcement Directorate, be part of the questioning. She was questioned for 9 odd hours the previous time. What's the fear right now?
Well, Nabila, as far as K. Kavitha is concerned, she has already expressed that there is an anticipation that she might be arrested. That is what the, K. Kavitha is claiming at this point of time. But so far, what ED is saying is that they are questioning K. Kavitha. There is no decision whether to arrest K. Kavitha or not. Whether she'll be arrested today or after 2 months, it is still not clear. Whether she'll be arrested at all in this case or not, it is also not clear. But ED is claiming that they have sufficient evidence. As far as the process is concerned, Nabila, and what I am hearing from my sources within the Enforcement Directorate is that the ED is yet to accept the request of K. Kavitha. If they are not accepting the request of K. Kavitha, it means that there will be a communication made by the ED officials to K. Kavitha that you need to appear today because we are conducting an investigation. If there is a request that I have some personal work or why I am not appearing before there is a Supreme Court case hearing, then ED will issue a fresh summon to K. Kavitha in connection with this case. The process in the Prevention of Money Laundering Act is that if a person is issued summons, there is no need for the ED to go to the court that the person is not participating, and that is why we need custodial interrogation of this person. The process is very simple. Summons will be issued after 3 summons. If you have skipped 3 summons, ED will be within their right to arrest that person. So far, ED is claiming based on the evidence they are questioning K. Kavitha, and if she is asking for some time, ED is yet to request, ED is yet to accept that request.
To that. Yeah. So we're waiting to hear if the ED is going to agree to her skipping summons or not. Manish Pandey and Milind Sharma, both of them bringing us the latest information coming in on K. Kavitha as she is due to be appearing and adhering to the summons by the Enforcement Directorate. You could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for a lot more on that. Stay with us. I'm slipping into a short break. We'll be right back with news and updates on the other side.
You are watching India Today.
Welcome to Wetzlar. Yes, this is the holy grail for camera enthusiasts, given that this is Zeiss Town and most importantly, Leica Town. That's where we are, the Leica Museum, headquarters, and their facilities all over this town. And now it's become imperative because one, Leica has come up with a smartphone in Japan in partnership with Sharp, but that's not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about a phone they've actually co-engineered when you're talking about the camera system, the Xiaomi 13 Pro. And look, there's branding on it saying co-engineered by Leica, and you've seen this with OnePlus and Hasselblad, Oppo and Hasselblad, Vivo and Zeiss, and you see a lot of these things, but how often are these gimmicks, and when does it actually happen that these turn out to be game changers? With the OnePlus Hasselblad partnership, the expectations were high, especially during the pandemic. And then when we saw the final output, it was absolutely disappointing. A little bit of inputs when it comes to color science. And yes, the OnePlus cameras aren't the best in the market out there. Here, they're actually saying, from a branding standpoint, that it's co-engineered the Xiaomi 13 Pro with Leica. What does that mean? Because I've been using this phone for a while now and taking photos all over Wetzlar town and then, of course, from the Tech Today studio. And honestly, I don't think this is a gimmick. If this is the future of smartphone cameras, and they also have a concept phone which is really cool with an attachable lens, but that's a little too bulky. If that sort of massive tech is now coming into this camera module, it might just be a game changer. The Xiaomi 13 Pro comes with a Leica professional optical lens, a 1-inch ultra-large sensor. That means a lot more light comes in and hence gives you much better shots. We've also seen a giant aperture here at the Leica Museum. A lot of those learnings and inputs do find their way into these sort of partnerships. And of course, it comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. But let me talk a little bit more about this camera. Looks really cool, looks different from the other phones, but this massive 1-inch sensor comes with a 50 megapixel wide-angle camera. This 1-inch sensor size is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, while it can obviously give you one-click AI cinema, ultra-night video, create Dolby Vision content up to 4K 60 FPS, 8K video recording, portrait night mode, it comes with Xiaomi Pro Focus as well. But most importantly, it comes with this Leica professional optical lens, a 1-inch ultra-large sensor, and the first time ever, a 75mm floating telephoto lens, which is what I really think is coming from this partnership with Leica. When they're talking about being co-engineered, it's not just a filter, it's not just a lens. There is a marked improvement in this camera, and it produces images like I haven't seen on a smartphone before. We're going to test this extensively on Tech Today, but I just thought you might just go back to the studio and get all sorts of shots back in Mumbai and Delhi. But this, according to me, is the future of smartphone photography.
See competition in this space? Because, you know, while you've got investment in and you're launching products and you've got a good team, but there are significant competitors like Kinetic, like Ola, even the incumbent players, legacy fuel players like Bajaj Auto. How do you see yourself locking horns with them?
Well, it's a competitive marketplace. There is the companies you mentioned and more coming in all the time. We have a slight early mover advantage, and hopefully we will do what it takes to maintain that advantage. I don't think any legacy player has any particular advantage in this field, and as I said, it is a completely different product altogether. It needs a different outlook. So, you know, an early mover advantage definitely will benefit us in the long term. We're learning all the time.
Any market share targets that you have? Because I believe that Ampere, the company that you bought and through which you're launching many products, has about a 12-13% share in the market. Would you be confident of maintaining that? Would you be content with having that kind of a share eventually as this market unfolds and expands?
Yes, we have targeted a 15% market share, and we're close. We're about 13%, as you said, 12-13% now, and we are confident that we can maintain that share.
Very good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me take you through the top news, the headlines first. After a massive uproar in the parliament, both houses have been adjourned. Rahul likely to attend Lok Sabha shortly after that foreign interference row. Kavitha skips second round of ED grilling, says matter is now pending before the Supreme Court, sends documents sought by the Enforcement Directorate through her aide. Another CCTV image of Umesh murder accessed, chilling Prayagraj shootout caught on camera. Umesh seen confronting the shooter Asad. Moments later, bullets and bombs flew in Prayagraj. Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute resurfaces. Maharashtra health scheme for disputed villages, while Karnataka Congress warns of agitation, says the Chief Minister Bommai failed to protect Karnataka's interests. And face off after B.S. Yadurappa's poll pitch for his son. BSY's son Vijendra now hits back at C.T. Ravi, says and rather warns, don't target a veteran leader. All right, we have some news coming in on Tejashwi Yadav as the Delhi High Court directs Tejashwi Yadav to appear in person before the CBI headquarters on the 25th of March. CBI gives assurance that Tejashwi will not be arrested for now. This is CBI's assurance as Tejashwi Yadav has been asked by the Delhi High Court to appear before the CBI in person. Charge sheet against Tejashwi to be filed soon on the matter. Tejashwi Yadav had skipped 3 summons so far that was issued by the CBI. In fact, CBI wants to question him regarding the alleged Benami properties which were purchased allegedly using the money generated in the land for job scam. Earlier, he was raided by the Enforcement Directorate in the same case. And as we know, many of them, Lalu in the same family, Lalu, Rabri, his wife and daughter Misa, all of them have got bail in the same case, temporary bail. But Tejashwi Yadav, who skipped 3 CBI summons, has now been asked to appear in person. Anisha Mathur joining us more on that. Anisha, tell us more on what the Delhi court has directed, asking Tejashwi Yadav to appear in person before the CBI, and also CBI assuring him, don't worry, we won't arrest you for now.
Well, Nabila, this was a very interesting argument before the Court of Justice, D.K. Sharma in the Delhi High Court today, where Tejashwi Yadav had said that the CBI has been sending him summons to appear in Delhi. Even though he's the sitting Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, he's holding portfolios, and the assembly session is currently ongoing with the budget session. And that is why the court had asked the CBI, why exactly is he being summoned to Delhi? What's also important to note is that the CBI counsel very clearly said that the charge sheet, the supplementary charge sheet in the land for job scam, which names Tejashwi Yadav as a co-accused, will be filed before the court very shortly. And that is why they need Tejashwi Yadav to appear in Delhi and to be confronted with other co-accused and with the documentary evidence in this particular case. Now, remember, the Lalu Yadav's family members, including Lalu Yadav and Rabri Devi, as well as Misa Bharti, have been facing this particular case. All 3 of them, Lalu, Rabri and Misa, had appeared before the Rouse Avenue court this week in arrest because the charge sheet against them has already been filed. The next up now is Tejashwi Yadav, who is facing investigation, and the CBI is saying we need to confront him with the evidence before we file the charge sheet before the court. And the CBI has given assurance that he will not be arrested for now, which is why the court said, well, pick a Saturday. In fact, the court asked the lawyer for Tejashwi Yadav, give us any Saturday which is convenient for you, and you can go and meet the CBI officials. You can join the questioning on that Saturday. The CBI, of course, saying that it has to be in this month itself because they are also facing a deadline with regard to the charge sheet, the filing of the charge sheet. After hearing all of this, the court has passed these following directions: that Tejashwi Yadav will appear before the CBI headquarters on the 25th of March at 10:30 a.m. The CBI has given assurance that he will not be arrested for now. But after having ignored 3 summons by the CBI, in fact, the petition before the High Court was Tejashwi Yadav objecting to the summons being issued to him to appear in Delhi. The High Court of Delhi has said on 25th he must appear and face CBI questioning. Back to you.
Right. Thank you, Anisha. We have Munish also joining us, tracking the central agencies. Munish, if you could tell us a little more on Tejashwi Yadav and what was the reason for him to skip summons before he's missed CBI summons. We believe he's been arguing that primary allegations are against my father. I was a minor when this alleged scam took place, so I should be pardoned.
Well, Nabila, this is a significant relief for Tejashwi Yadav in connection with this case, because what the Central Bureau of Investigation has been claiming so far, that they have good amount of evidence against Tejashwi Yadav, and there was an anticipation that if he appears before the Central Bureau of Investigation for questioning, he might get arrested. So it is a significant relief for Tejashwi Yadav, but it is temporary, because what CBI is saying that for now we are not going to arrest when he appears before the agency for on 25th of this month. Now, why CBI wants to question him? We have been given to understand is that during the questioning and during the investigation of the case, the CBI got to know about several Benami properties allegedly which were made on the name of Tejashwi Yadav or some companies using the money which was generated in the alleged land for job scam. Now, as far as whether he was minor or not, this scam is pertaining to the year when Lalu Yadav was the Union Railway Minister from 2004 to 2009. As far as the birth certificate of Tejashwi Yadav is concerned, he was then 14-year to 19-year-old, and that is why he is claiming that during the crime period he was minor. But remember, what CBI is claiming, that it doesn't matter whether you are minor or not. Now you are an adult, and there are Benami properties on your name, and we suspect that these Benami properties were made only using the illegal money which was generated in this particular land for job scam. Now, also, there is another agency which is probing this case, that is the Enforcement Directorate. Enforcement Directorate recently issued a statement saying that the proceeds of crime in this case has crossed even 600 crore rupees. And so far, they have ED also mentioned that they also know about one Benami property where Tejashwi Yadav stays in Delhi. That is a bungalow in New Friends Colony. It was bought for only 4 lakh rupees years back, but now the worth of that property is 150 crore rupees. As far as CBI is concerned, they are claiming that there is a mall in Gurugram which is a Benami property of Tejashwi Yadav. Tejashwi Yadav has refuted these allegations, saying that these are baseless allegations, but agency claims that his questioning is very important. For now, he won't be arrested when he appears before the Central Bureau of Investigation.
Right.
But this relief will be for the longer period of time or not, that is going to be extremely important, because CBI says that they have good amount of evidence against Tejashwi Yadav. And Nabila also, this has become a political case also, because he is a Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar. The party is without the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the BJP is targeting Tejashwi Yadav.
Let's see. Now the CBI has assured that he will not be arrested. We'll see how far that goes. He's got to appear in person now. Delhi court strict direction to Tejashwi Yadav. He can't miss another summons. He's got to appear in the land for job scam, where he's one of the accused along with his family members. All right, big developments coming in on Kavitha's case, as she's supposed to be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate. Kavitha now puts forth a request to the ED asking to skip summons. And in that request, she says, and I quote, "I'm a people's representative. It is a breach of my privacy. My phone was seized. If ED wants to question, I'm available at my residence and I'm not running away from it." Kavitha to the Enforcement Directorate says the matter is now pending in the top court. ED is all set to issue fresh summons to Kavitha. ED is yet to accept the request to skip summons as well. Kavitha, who's been accused of conspiring with the Aam Aadmi Party in framing the Delhi liquor policy for commissions and benefits as a liquor licensee. Here, the summons that was issued to her twice over. The first one, she appeared. She went through 9 hours of grilling. The second was today, that she had to appear before the Enforcement Directorate, but now decides to skip it. And while she skips summons here, Kavitha has sent her representative to the ED office claiming that she is a people's representative. It is a breach of her privacy. Her phone was seized. If ED wanted to question her and wants to question her, she is very much available inside her house and she's not running away. Kavitha says that the matter is now pending before court. And while that's said, ED has issued a fresh summons to Kavitha. Let me cut across to Milind Sharma joining us. Milind, do we know if ED has accepted Kavitha's request to skip summons? And do elaborate for us on the request she's made while asking to skip summons. She said that, you know, what was the necessity to snatch away my phone? I'm not a criminal. I'm not running away. Whether she's a criminal or not, we'll know in time. But she says, I'm not running away anywhere. I'm at my home. Come by, interrogate me whenever you want. Why that kind of privilege does she expect?
Of course, we're bringing to you the details of what her representations have submitted to the Enforcement Directorate right now. Legally speaking, she is under the discretion of Section 50(3) to appear before the Enforcement Directorate, also because the case is now pending in Supreme Court and the matter, as we were discussing, Nabila, has been listed for March 24th. She's a people's representative, yes, and the last time that she was questioned, she was made to sit till 8:30 p.m. She being a woman, women are generally questioned only till 7 p.m. or till sundown is what the law states there. She was also asked to take her phone with her. Her phone has already been seized. It is in the possession of the Enforcement Directorate, and the requisite documents have also been put forward by her. So what she's saying is that I'm not running away from questioning. You can very well come and question me at my residence, but I, being a people's person, a people's representative, you have taken away my phones already. The last time you were supposed to do a confrontation, the ED has actually called Kavitha because they wanted to confront her with another co-accused. But that didn't happen. Perhaps the ED wanted to do today, do that today. My colleague Munish would throw some more light on that. But what we know from her representation is that she clearly states, I'm not running away. I can be questioned at my residence, but of course, as her discretion, she's exercising under the PMLA powers of Section 53 that she will not appear before the Enforcement Directorate, also because the matter is pending in Supreme Court, and also all the prerequisite documents, the phones, the seizures have already happened. So in her case, this is her plea and a request to the Enforcement Directorate. Now, as my colleague Munish was mentioning, that ED might issue fresh summons. We'll have to wait and see what is the course of action that the Enforcement Directorate will take. But as we brought to you first on India Today, Kavitha will not be
stay
attending.
with us. I'm going to cut across to Munish on that. Munish, like Milind has brought to us, Kavitha will not be attending ED's summons. This is a big miss, one should say, because Kavitha has been accused of corruption, accused of conspiring with the Aam Aadmi Party and benefiting from the now tainted Delhi liquor policy that was framed by Sisodia and team. Now, as we see, she is asked for the Enforcement Directorate to exempt her. ED has not yet accepted it, but she's gone on a defensive there. Why was my phone seized? I'm not running away. If you want to question me, come to my house and question. Are these demands really entertained? Why this kind of special treatment does she expect for herself?
Well, Nabila, the answer is no, because, when the first summon to Kavitha was issued by the Enforcement Directorate, she had then also told the ED officials that I am a woman, I am very much available in Hyderabad at my residence. You can come to my residence and question. But the ED then rejected her claims that she is a woman and that is why she should get these privileges of being questioned at her own residence. Remember, in this case, and why I'm saying this, Nabila, it becomes very important for the understanding of our viewers. When the Central Bureau of Investigation had issued summons to K. Kavitha, it was under section 160 of CRPC. Under 160 of CRPC, if there is a child or if there is a woman, the CBI is supposed to question that person at her residence or a location where she wants to be questioned, and that is why CBI team went to the Hyderabad and then they questioned K. Kavitha at her residence. But as far as Enforcement Directorate is concerned, ED is governed by Prevention of Money Laundering Act. If a summon has been issued under Section 50 of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, it means that the person has to appear before the agency. The agency can go, but only in certain limited circumstances. If the person is old, if the person is sick, but still they want to question, then only they can go to any location and question that person. As far as K. Kavitha is concerned, her request of being questioned at her residence because she is a woman, that was rejected by the Enforcement Directorate. So again, as Milan was pointing out, and if it is true that she is asking for the same thing again, it will be rejected by the Enforcement Directorate. So far, her fresh request is concerned, ED is yet to accept that request. It means that they have not yet decided whether K. Kavitha should come today, or if she is asking for some more time, whether she should be granted more time or not. If it is regarding the Supreme Court hearing, then ED will be issuing a fresh summon to K. Kavitha, and it will be up to the ED officials whether she should come before 24th of March or after 24th of March. But what ED is claiming, her questioning is important because there are certain accused in the case who have taken K. Kavitha's name. They want to clarify with K. Kavitha whether those allegations are true or not. They want to question her regarding her own phone, because on March 11, when she appeared before the ED officials, she was asked about one particular phone. She told the ED officials, it is at my residence. A security guard was sent to her residence. The phone was brought to the ED office, but when it was checked by the ED officials, again, the phone was formatted and clean, and ED wants to know that what was the need to format your phone if you don't want to hide anything. Apart from that, they want to question her regarding the statements made by Arun Pillai, Buchi Babu, and the 100 crore rupees of bribery. So these are important aspects of the entire alleged scam, regarding which the ED wants to question K. Kavitha. If she is not appearing, the ED will issue fresh summon. And also, Nabila, just for the benefit of our viewers, it is a legal right of any accused, suspect or witness that they can skip 3 summons. They can ask for more time. Now, if K. Kavitha has skipped the summons, this is the second time she will be skipping the summons. So the count will be 2. If she skips one more summon, then ED will be within their right to arrest K. Kavitha in connection with this case. Nabila.
Right. Would you tell us, Manish, you said as per provision that a woman is allowed to, be interrogated by in her house by the ED, the central agency, under certain clause there. But then at the same time, this is a money laundering case, and K. Kavitha is expected to produce evidence, documentation and whatnot. So it's going to be an uphill task for her to prove herself innocent in this case. And at a time like this, when the ED has found that she could be leading the South cartel linked to the Delhi liquor policy, do you even think it's likely that the ED will accept her request to skip summons?
Well, Nabila, it is going to be extremely difficult for K. Kavitha to defend herself in this case, because unlike CBI, the Enforcement Directorate works under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. And the unique thing about Prevention of Money Laundering Act is the onus is on the accused to prove that the person is innocent. Here, the onus is on K. Kavitha to prove that she has not done anything wrong. But as far as the evidence are concerned in connection with this case, they are pointing towards K. Kavitha. That is what the ED is alleging at this point of time. Now, there are 10 instances, 10 evidence in connection with this case, where the ED is claiming that there are direct evidence which they have against K. Kavitha, and that is why they mentioned her name in the charge sheet, and that is why they want to question K. Kavitha in connection with this case. These instances, these evidence against K. Kavitha are 3 statements against K. Kavitha given by persons who were close to K. Kavitha. 2 statements given by people who are accused in this case and who are working with Vijay Nair. The instance of her meeting in Hyderabad and in the national capital with Vijay Nair regarding 100 crore rupees of bribery. Evidence of destruction of evidence. So all these things are being compiled by the Enforcement Directorate to make a very strong case against K. Kavitha. What ED is claiming that she was not only the participant in this entire scam, but she was also one of the conspirators of the scam. She was the beneficiary of proceeds of crime, and that is why the case against her are very strong. Now, the ED is claiming this, but whether the ED is going to arrest K. Kavitha or not, the possibility is very strong. That is what the ED sources are indicating us. Whether she will be arresting, next time she appears before the ED or, after a few months, that is still not clear. But ED is claiming that they have strong evidence against K. Kavitha. There is an anticipation in K. Kavitha's team, in K. Kavitha's mind, that she will be arrested in this case eventually. And that is why, she is taking legal advice from her lawyers, whether to appear before the ED officials or not. But so far, in many cases, we have seen that when any person has approached any court, whether it is lower court or Supreme Court, they haven't been given relief as far as the summons are concerned, because summons are the rights which the ED or any other agency can exercise when they want to question, because it is pertaining to the investigation of the case. So whether K. Kavitha will get relief or not, it is yet to be seen. But as far as troubles are seen, it is mounting for K. Kavitha. K. Kavitha is using this opportunity to gain some political mileage. There were support from almost 18 parties to K. Kavitha when she was, talking about women's reservation bill. But as far as this case is concerned, remember, some parties are staying away from it. For example, Congress party,
This is a corruption case. Munish, thank you very much. I'm cutting across to visuals coming in on the Congress protesting against BJP over Adani issue. This is yet again uproar outside the parliament. We see hectic shots coming in where women are being moved away by the police, and this is the fashion. There you have it. This shot, this image here showing the police lifting a woman, almost trying to push her away from the barricade, as the Congress now erupts in protest against Modi and Adani. This controversy now that they've taken out on the streets outside the parliament as well. This is the same debate that they've been highlighting inside the parliament. There has been no debate. The parliament has gone into a logjam for the last 4 days. And the same parliamentarians and the Congress workers there out on the streets right now protesting against Adani.
जनवरी को इतना मार्च पूरा होने जा रहा है, अभी तक कोई संज्ञान नहीं है, कोई जांच नहीं, कोई गिरफ्तारी नहीं। तो सवाल ये उठता है, जब तानाशाही सरकार नहीं सुन रही तो स्वाभाविक है कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ता सड़कों से लेकर के पार्लियामेंट तक लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। और न केवल कांग्रेस, खड़गे जी के नेतृत्व में तमाम विपक्षी दल एक ही तो मांग कर रहे हैं कि जेपीसी का गठन कब करोगे, ज्वाइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी का गठन करिए, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी होने दीजिए। बजाय इसके कि जांच हो, आप उन लोगों पे शिकंजा कस रहे हैं जो आपसे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, आप उनको दोषी बना रहे हैं।
अनिल जी, सामने से जवाब ये आ रहा है कि मसला राहुल गांधी का है, उन्होंने विदेशी धरती पे देश को डिफेम किया, इस तरह का बयान आ रहा है। किरण रिजिजू ने आज कहा है कि माफी मांगनी पड़ेगी राहुल गांधी को देश से।
पूरी भाजपा मोदी जी के इशारे पर एक ही काम में लगी हुई है कि राहुल जी से सवाल पूछे। अरे भाई, दोषी आप हैं, गबन आपने कराया, इस देश को लुटवाया आपने, एसबीआई का भट्टा आपने बैठा दिया, जीवन बीमा निगम को आपने ठप कर दिया, और सवाल राहुल जी पर। शर्म आनी चाहिए, बड़प्पन दिखाते मोदी जी। राहुल जी लगभग 4000 किलोमीटर कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर लोगों से मिलकर के आए हैं, किसानों से मिले, युवाओं से मिले, स्पोर्ट्समैन से मिले, जो सेवानिवृत्त कर्मचारी उनसे मिले। बड़प्पन दिखाती सरकार, बुलाते राहुल जी को, राहुल जी आप सड़कों पे घूमे, क्या अनुभव रही है, आप बताइए हमें, हम समाधान देंगे। बजाय राहुल जी के उस कदम की प्रशंसा करने के आप उन्हें बदनाम कर रहे हैं। पूरा देश जान चुका है कि राहुल जी सड़कों पर उतर के देश के मुद्दों पर चले थे। याद होगा, राहुल जी किसानों के लिए भट्टा पार्सल 4 दिन यात्रा करके आए। किसान अधिग्रहण, भूमि अधिग्रहण,
बैरिकेड्स पे चढ़े, बैरिकेड्स तोड़ने की कोशिश की, अब आगे की क्या कार्रवाई होगी? क्या राजभवन, क्योंकि आपको जाने तो नहीं दिया जा रहा है?
बिल्कुल, मोदी जी की पुलिस ने जिस तरह से रवैया अपनाया है दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। लोकतंत्र में आवाज उठाना हर किसी का हक है। सरकार कांग्रेस की भी रही, हमेशा मौके दिए गए, लेकिन अफसोस ना तो चर्चा सदन में हो रही है, ना चर्चा सड़कों पर हो रही है, ना मिलने देना चाहते हैं। तमाम विपक्ष की दल के एक एक सांसद ईडी के कार्यालय में जाकर के उनसे मुलाकात करके कंप्लेंट देना चाहते थे, वहां नहीं जाना देते हो। आखिर चल क्या रहा है इस देश में? इसमें केवल और केवल तानाशाही चल रही है। आज की ताजा रिपोर्ट आई है, अडानी जिस फर्म के अंदर पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, जो मलेशिया की जो एक बड़ी कंपनी है जिसको आज तमाम समाचार पत्रों ने छापा है, उसमें इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। तो अडानी जी जिसको कोई नहीं जानता था, उस अडानी को बचाने के लिए मोदी जी ने सर पैर की पूरी ताकत लगा दी। और सर पैर कौन है? इनके यही जो इनके जो तोता बन के जो सांसद राहुल जी को ट्रोल करते हैं, राहुल जी पे सवाल पूछते हैं, आज सबको उतार दिया है, मंत्रियों से लेकर के कार्यकर्ता। लेकिन जवाब चाहिए देश को। आखिर अडानी 7-8 सालों में नंबर तो पायदान पर कैसे पहुंचा? एसबीआई में पैसा कैसे डूब गया? जीवन बीमा निगम का ठप्पा कैसे बैठ गया? क्यों जांच नहीं करती सेबी? तमाम लोगों की गर्दन पकड़े हुए सरकार।
ओके, सो राइट देयर द कांग्रेस पार्टी इज क्वेश्चनिंग।
एपीसी मांग रहे, जांच करिए। इतनी अच्छी मांग अगर वो आपको लगता है कि सही मायने में, क्योंकि एलआईसी में पैसा किसका है? हम गरीबों का पैसा है। उस पैसे के बारे में एलआईसी अगर डूब रही है तो जवाब देना चाहिए। ज्वाइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी की जांच के लिए डरते क्यों है? हम ट्रांसपेरेंट है ना, हम कहते हैं हम पारदर्शी है, तो करिए। अब कल हमने मोर्चा निकाला, आज हमने रैली बनाई है। अभी देखो शुक्ला साहब भी हमारे पास।
शुक्ला जी, आप लोग लगातार डिमांड कर रहे हैं, ह्यूमन चेन बना है, क्या आप लोग चाहते हैं?
लगातार ये कहा जा रहा है कि जो सवाल राहुल जी ने उठाए हैं उन सवालों का जवाब आना चाहिए। वो सवाल नहीं आ रहे, यही मुख्य मुद्दा है। और सदन नहीं चलने दे रही। पहली बार हो रहा है इतिहास में कि सत्ता पक्ष सदन नहीं चलने दे रहा, हंगामा कर रहा। जो विपक्ष का काम है वो सत्ता पक्ष भी कर रहा है।
वो तो कह रहे हैं कि देश का लोकतंत्र का आपने अपमान
क्या? लोकतंत्र का कोई लोकतंत्र का अपमान?
बीजेपी लगातार
लोग तो गलत माफी मांग रहे हैं। ऐसे अगर सबके बयान निकाल लो तो इतने लोगों को माफी मांगनी पड़ेगी कि मुसीबत हो जाएगी। अगर बाहर विदेश के बयानों का होगा तो इतने बयान है चल तो रहे सोशल मीडिया पे, देखो क्या क्या कहा बाहर जाके।
एकदम सही। क्या आप लोग की मांग है?
ये एपीसी की मांग है। और ये लोग पहली बार देखा इतिहास में कि ट्रेजरी बेंच के लोग ही हाउस नहीं चलने दे रहे हैं। 2 मिनट 3 मिनट में हाउस खत्म होता है। लीडर ऑफ
All right, big news coming in. CBI lodges an FIR against Manish Sisodia and others in the snooping case. CBI registers a case against Manish Sisodia in feedback unit case. This is yet another case that Manish Sisodia has been pulled up for. Second case has been registered against Manish Sisodia. Big development coming in as Manish Sisodia again lands in trouble with the CBI lodging an FIR against Manish and others in a snooping case. In fact, CBI registers a case against Manish Sisodia in the feedback unit case. This is the big update as Manish Sisodia currently already lodged in prison. This is another hurdle that he'll have to fight. Manish Sisodia in the feedback unit snooping case. He's now been filed, an FIR has been filed against him by the CBI. In fact, this is a lot to do with Manish Sisodia allegedly snooping around. It's not just him, some of the other Aam Aadmi Party leaders allegedly snooped around the opposition party netas as part of their feedback unit that was set up within the Delhi government. In fact, this has sparked yet another row as Manish Sisodia is already fighting charges of corruption while framing the Delhi liquor policy. Here's yet another case on a feedback unit where allegedly Manish Sisodia and a bunch of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders set up a feedback unit through which they used to snoop around into opposition leaders within the state of Delhi. Shreya Chatterjee joining us live for a little more. Shreya, what troubles mounting there for Manish Sisodia as we see the CBI now already filing an FIR against Sisodia, the second one. And this comes with regards to the feedback unit that was set up by the Delhi Aam Aadmi Party. And allegations are that they primarily set up that feedback unit to snoop around many of the opposition leaders. Tell us a little more about this case. This comes even as Sisodia is still in prison.
Well, exactly. So, Nabila, you know, the case that's been registered by the CBI is against 6 people, including Manish Sisodia and unknown others. Now, this is for snooping on political opponents. What the feedback unit was particularly built for, what right now the CBI is claiming in their FIR, that at least 40% of their reports were only used to get political intelligence. And that's primarily the...
जो लोकल वो आएंगे डिस्पोज करने वाले, वहाँ पे उन लोगों को वो मिल जाएगा, जॉब मिल जाएगा.
But do we have any plan in place? Timeline uska?
I don't think there's any systematic plan. बट लेट मी फिगर आउट, लेट मी फाइंड आउट.
उसका कैलोरिफिक वैल्यू बहुत कम है हमारे वेस्ट का. इट इज नॉट सूटेबल फॉर WTE प्लांट्स एज पर एक्सपर्ट्स एंड एज पर मल्टीपल रिपोर्ट्स.
हम तो बना रहे हैं यार. 8100 टन कूड़े में से काफी वेस्ट टू एनर्जी में ही जा रहा है.
यहाँ से कितना जाएगा WTE में या कितना?
नहीं, यहाँ से नहीं. ये वाला लीगेसी वेस्ट WTE में नहीं जाएगा. वो WTE में फ्रेश वेस्ट जाया करेगा. फ्रेश वेस्ट अभी दिल्ली में जो 11,000 मीट्रिक टन डेली बन रहा है, उसमें से 8100 जो है वो डिस्पोज, उसमें से रफली 7000 अभी भी वेस्ट टू एनर्जी में जा रहा है. थैंक यू.
All right, we try to check if Arvind Kejriwal would respond to this latest development coming in on his Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who's currently now sitting in jail as he faces allegations of corruption as part of the Delhi liquor policy. While that case is being probed on one hand, you have another, the feedback unit case that was raised by the Ministry of Home Affairs asking to prosecute the Delhi Deputy Manish Sisodia under the Prevention of Corruption Act in this feedback unit alleged snooping case. This is big deal as the CBI now comes down heavy, filing another FIR on Sisodia. And the claims are that Manish Sisodia and team, basically a bunch of the Aam Aadmi Party netas, insisted on setting up a feedback unit as part of the Delhi government, where they used or misused that feedback unit to snoop around on several opposition party leaders. In fact, Manish Sisodia is right now already facing allegations of corruption as part of the Delhi liquor policy and framing it in allegations of him receiving kickbacks and of course a bunch of the other netas who received kickbacks after they framed a policy that encouraged commission from liquor licensees. While he already faces investigation into those serious charges, here's yet another case that's looming. Feedback unit case. Manish Sisodia is said to have set up a feedback unit under almost like a vigilance department that was headed by Manish Sisodia himself. And this feedback unit allegedly was used to spy on opposition parties, on mantris, ministers, several entities and even individuals. This is a huge development as the CBI now filing an FIR on Manish Sisodia with the same. It was under Manish Sisodia itself. He was heading the feedback unit, calling it a vigilance department where it was allegedly misused to try and spy on mantris, on several opposition leaders largely, and even on particular individuals. This is what is said. In fact, according to the probe agencies, the feedback unit collected intelligence on political activities of many persons and of course most of the people who were snooped on were not aligned with the Aam Aadmi Party, and this of course is unlawful. And if this is true, that this was the intention with which the feedback unit was set up, then he'll have to face the law even in this case. The CBI is going to be investigating the case now, but they've started with an FIR that they've slapped on Manish Sisodia. And this is, of course, double trouble. He's already facing allegations of framing the Delhi liquor policy in light of gaining kickbacks and commissions through illegal channels. Now, while those allegations are serious, here's yet another case that comes to light on a feedback unit where Manish Sisodia and his men allegedly slooped around on netas. Shreya Chatterjee was tracking those developments. Shreya, go on, tell us more about this feedback unit that was set up under Manish Sisodia in the guise of a vigilance department where they tried to snoop around on many opposition party netas. In fact, I'm going to try and connect Shreya there, but the snooping unit here, we believe, as per allegations, had really no legislative or judicial oversight. It was allegedly run and managed by close aides and advisors of Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. It was headed by Manish Sisodia himself. And the entire intention to set up this feedback unit is allegedly that they wanted to collect intelligence reports and basically snoop around on many leaders, mostly from the opposition parties. And this was done with malicious intent. That's precisely the allegation here, and it was the Ministry of Home Affairs itself who asked to initiate an investigation and prosecute him if guilty. Now, the CBI stepping in has slapped an FIR on Manish Sisodia in the same case.
एनजीटी के ऑर्डर के बाद 2019 से काम शुरू हुआ था। लगभग 80 लाख मीट्रिक टन कूड़ा यहाँ पे मौजूद था उस टाइम। अभी तक
All right. Arvind Kejriwal trying to speak, but on other topics, we're going to continue tracking those developments. If we get a response from the Chief Minister himself, stay tuned with us.
हाँ सुनीता बोलो। दरवाजे के बाहर खड़ी हूँ मैडम। एक सेकंड। सेंड। खुल गया मैडम।
Open doors from anywhere. The remote from Hefala Digital Locks comes with offline technology. Welcome to the future. Hefala, let's reimagine.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Justice Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Amit Shah, Sachin Tendulkar and Ram Charan. The India Moment.
All right, Rahul Gandhi has arrived in the parliament. It's 12:35. Rahul Gandhi arrives in the parliament. And Rahul Gandhi, one should know, is really the man of the moment here. He's been the most debated person, or his name has echoed in the walls of the parliament, both houses, in the last few days, ever since he spoke on foreign soil and spoke about Indian democracy being dead, targeted at the Modi government, extensively condemning the Modi rule, and spoke about how minorities in the country are being suppressed and they're second-class citizens. A lot of elaborate statements that he made that have come now into huge controversy for himself. It's basically landed him in a soup, especially inside the parliament and within the country. There's that kind of backlash that's coming his way, where Rahul Gandhi remains on the defensive, but a lot of them within his own party, many have spoken against the comments he made, claiming what he said was not right. Rahul Gandhi, in fact, in one instance, even asked, where are the defenders of democracy? Basically directing the United States, the EU, for not taking note of the alleged plight in India. These were comments that he made in indirectly seeking help from foreign forces on internal matters of India. Now you have the BJP, of course, firing guns on Rahul Gandhi, and all 4 days of the parliament, the BJP asking and demanding for Rahul Gandhi's apology while the Congress remains defiant. Rahul Gandhi at 12:35 finally arrives at the parliament. Even though both the houses have been adjourned, Rahul Gandhi has reached. Let's see what happens at 2 p.m. when the session resumes.
Will you apologize, Mr. Gandhi? You've denigrated the country back. Will you apologize, Mr. Gandhi? The BJP feels
Well, there you have it. Rahul Gandhi walking into the parliament, all smiles. 11 a.m. itself, the houses were adjourned after they went into a hectic argument, all the noise and chaos there. And you had the speaker adjourning both houses, Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. They are due to resume at 2 p.m. Rahul Gandhi now arrives at 12:30. And he's seen all smiles. Very defiant Rahul Gandhi. Of course, the Congress has already declared that they're not going to apologize. He's done nothing wrong. But what happens in the parliament at 2 p.m. is got to be awaited. Let me cut across to Aishwarya Paliwal joining us for more on that. Aishwarya, Rahul Gandhi coming in, the first appearance he makes right after that the foreign involvement comment that he made, speaking of India's democracy being dead, almost seeking help from foreign forces on internal matters of India. BJP, of course, having enough ammunition there to ask for a formal apology in the parliament, which he refuses to give. He now comes into the parliament at 12:30, all smiles. I thought Manikam Tagore said, "See you at 11 a.m." Rahul Gandhi is an hour and a half late, is it?
Yes, Nabila, Rahul Gandhi has walked in, just a couple of minutes back. But what it really shows is the fact that he's ready to fight it out. And that's the reason why we are seeing the smile that he has. He's very clear, the Congress party is very clear that he will not be apologizing. But we do know that all the top leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party are all ready to pounce on Rahul Gandhi for what he said in the UK. And this will be, in fact, the first time when Rahul Gandhi and all the other leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party will come face to face. So we should be expecting a very, very fiery next couple of hours. We will see an actual fight taking place because all the big Congress leaders are standing right behind Rahul Gandhi. On the other side are the big BJP leaders. They want Rahul Gandhi to apologize. An apology, it seems, Nabila, will not be coming. We have been seeing over the past 3 to 4 days the kind of comments all the top leaders of Congress party have been giving, very clearly saying what Rahul Gandhi said was not maligning the country. What he said is the truth, and the Bharatiya Janata Party, in fact, is the one that does not want the parliament to function. So we should expect in a couple of hours very fiery barbs coming from both the sides, the Congress as well as BJP. Nabila.
All right, this is quite a development that we are eager to see what happens at 2 p.m. But what's happening right in the meanwhile outside the parliament, Aishwarya? Do we see any kind of protest erupting? We saw Congress workers out on the streets again protesting on the Adani issue. But any commotion of sorts now as Rahul Gandhi arrives? Where was he though? Why was he not part of the session the last few days?
Well, Nabila, he's returned very late from his trip. That's what we have got to that's what we know at the moment. But one thing which is very clear is the fact that he is not fighting, he's not running away from this fight. This is very clear. The smile that he had, very clearly saying that he is very much, in control of what he wants to say. The Congress party know exactly the line that they will be doing. All these things and the kind of statements that we are seeing. In fact, Pawan Khera in the morning only said that apology is something that Rahul Gandhi will not give. And the reason why he will not apologize is because the party and Rahul Gandhi himself very clearly believe what they are saying is the truth. And it is, in fact, the BJP, first time in the history, this is what Congress party is saying. It is for the first time that the ruling party, which is the BJP, is at the moment making sure that the parliament does not function. They are in fact going ahead and saying, we want the parliament to function. We want you to speak about the issues that are bothering us. That's what the opposition parties have been saying, Nabila. But very clearly, the Bharatiya Janata Party is adamant that they want Rahul Gandhi to apologize. Nothing less will work for the BJP at the moment. Nabila.
All right. Here we see Rahul Gandhi, who's appeared, all smiles, the Congress defiant, saying they will not apologize. So at 2 p.m. we're expected to the House to adjourn. Beg your pardon there, it will resume. But 11 a.m., even before the discussion could begin, the Speaker there adjourned the House. It almost looked as if they did not even intend to have a debate. There was no intention to have a debate at all. It was barely a few minutes into it, and that's it. It was adjourned. Is this going to be the norm, the rest of the session, the next few weeks? Are we going to see the same?
Seems like it, Nabila, because, both the sides, all the opposition parties on one side are very adamant on what they want. The Bharatiya Janata Party also on the other side, extremely adamant that they want Rahul Gandhi to apologize. So it seems like we will see, maybe a total washout. because the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi specifically saying, I am not being allowed to speak. That's what he said in the UK. The Bharatiya Janata Party on the other side saying that he spoke for almost 50 minutes. So there is, what he's saying on foreign soil are blatant lies. The Congress party on the other hand are saying that when we try to speak, our voices are muzzled. So definitely this is something which is a aarya par ki ladai, Nabila, for the Congress party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. And that's the reason why we are seeing the top leaders of both the parties. Because, Congress party obviously wanting the Bharatiya Janata Party to speak about Gautam Adani. Gautam Adani is something that the Bharatiya Janata Party of late has been saying that they do not want to talk about it. They are saying if you have any other, things that you want to speak about, then come to us, speak about it. But on the other hand, the Congress party very adamant, A, there will be no apology coming from Rahul Gandhi, and B, speak and discuss about the issues that are bothering us as opposition parties in the country. Nabila.
All right, Rahul Gandhi has arrived, but is there what's likely to happen? Does the Congress have anything on the agenda planned? Do they have a list of questions to ask the BJP inside the House? Is it going to be the Adani issue that will dominate from the Congress's side?
Well, Nabila, definitely it will be the Adani issue, because that's the issue that the Congress party wants the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially the Prime Minister, to give answers on. And that is why we saw almost 16 opposition parties, very varied parties coming together. Because Gautam Adani has now become a glue of sorts that is now keeping all the opposition parties, at least the major opposition parties, together. The opposition parties are also speaking about the way in which the CBI and the ED have been time and again going and knocking on the doors of only opposition leaders. This is also something that the opposition wants the government to give answers on. The government on the other side is saying that when you have indulged, when there is a paper trail, that's the only time when enforcement, when ED and the CBI go and knock on doors. So it's not something that the ED and the CBI officers just wake up one morning and, say that we want you to come and to, speak with us. So the BJP, very adamant, saying these are not the issues that we want to discuss. The opposition party, especially the Congress party, on the other hand, saying that we only want these issues to be talked about. So definitely, Nabila, we will see that both of them very adamant, and it seems like
it's
this
going to be
entire
interesting
session.
to see what happens in just about an hour from now, if at all the session resumes, and if there is a debate, then one wants to hear what Rahul Gandhi surely wants to say. But this is what exactly has landed Rahul Gandhi in this kind of attack by the BJP, of course. You see the speech that he gave in UK, where he spoke about Indian democracy being dead, and a lot more that he spoke targeting the Modi government. And that's really led to the uproar. A quick look at what Rahul Gandhi had spoken on foreign soil.
It is quite strange that an Indian political leader can give a talk in Cambridge University, Harvard University, but he can't give a talk in India, in a university in India. Right? And the reason is that our government simply does not allow any idea of the opposition, any concept of the opposition.
So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone, right? Which is a real problem with regards to, and frankly, the opposition is fighting that battle, right? And it's not just an Indian battle. It's actually a much more important battle. It is a battle for a huge part of the democratic people.
How would you react if democracy suddenly disappeared in Europe? Right? You'd be shocked and you'd be like, oh my God, that's a massive blow to democracy. Well, how would you react if something, a structure 3.5 times Europe suddenly went non-democratic? Right? That's happened already. That's not something that is going to happen in the future. That's already happened.
All right. Post that, Prime Minister Modi had also responded while on a stage, and here's what he said responding to Rahul Gandhi.
वो भगवान बसवेश्वर, लंदन की धरती पर उनकी मूर्ति, लेकिन ये दुर्भाग्य है कि लंदन में ही भारत के लोकतंत्र पर सवाल उठाने का काम किया गया। भारत के लोकतंत्र की जड़ें हमारे सदियों के इतिहास से सींची गई है। दुनिया की कोई ताकत भारत की लोकतंत्र की परंपराओं को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचा सकती।
All right, we're going to continue tracking those developments coming in from the Parliament. For now, it's time for a short break. I'll be right back with news and updates on the other side. Stay with us.
The story of Lakshmi is a source of inspiration. Despite frugal means, Lakshmi has built a business she's proud of. But it did not come easy. After working in a wide array of jobs, Lakshmi got headlong into the dry cleaning and ironing business. She now caters to over 300 families.
ये हमारा जो प्रोफेशन है वो फैमिली बिजनेस है। मेरे हस्बैंड प्राइवेट सेक्टर में जॉब करते थे। जब लॉकडाउन लगा तो उनकी वो जॉब छूट गई थी। तो ये फैमिली बिजनेस था, हाथ का हुनर था, तो मैंने एक बार बाहर आजमाने की कोशिश की। शुरू में 16 किलोमीटर ड्राइव करके जाना बहुत काफ़ी ऐसा लगता था, पता नहीं कितना दूर जंगल में आना पड़ रहा है।
With all her hard work and dedication, Lakshmi soon took a shop on rent in a housing complex in Jaipur. She has employed 3 people to help her. Lakshmi has not only managed to build a profitable business, she has also given hope and aspirations to her children.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि मम्मी पापा दोनों काम करते हैं हमारे लिए, और मेरा भाई और मैं मतलब अच्छे से पढ़ पाते हैं उस वजह से। मम्मी और पापा बिजनेस करते हैं और इतना दूर जाते हैं, तो हमें बहुत सपोर्ट मिलता है उन दोनों से।
Lakshmi's elder son is pursuing BTech and dreams of joining the Indian Navy after graduation. Her younger son plans to open a cafe.
39-year-old Lakshmi is no less than a superwoman for her family. Despite frugal means and the initial hardship, through her grit and perseverance, Lakshmi has managed to put the family business on the path to progress and given her children the hope and the aspiration to dream big. With camera person Nikhil, Devankur Vadhavan in Jaipur for India Today.
Clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, clean earth to live. These are no more natural. Instead, what is natural is toxic air smothering life, toxic water killing life, toxic earth burning life. That's our crude reality of urban life. People are well aware of this real threat to health, yet Indian cities across the length and breadth of the country face a national air emergency.
Age is just a number. This line fits perfectly for Dharamchand from Haryana. He is 86 but is still running, jumping and winning medals. His secret?
मैं बच्चों को सबको यही प्रेरणा देता हूँ कि आप मेरी तरह ग्राउंड के साथ जुड़े और सब ऐबों से मुक्त होकर आप अपनी सेहत को, अपने शरीर को ठीक रखें। सन 68 से लेकर आज तक मैं कंटिन्यूड रेगुलर पोजीशन लेता आ रहा हूँ।
The 4th National Masters Athletics Championship, which recently took place in Kurukshetra, saw more than 2,400 participants from 22 states. 72-year-old Mahavir Singh is one of them.
मैं यही संदेश देना चाहता हूँ, भाई नशे से दूर रहें और खेलों से जुड़ें। आप खेलना जरूरी है, कोई जरूरी नहीं कोई मेडल जीते। मेरे को 40 साल खेलते हुए हो गए हैं और 20 साल से मैं इसमें मास्टर एथलेटिक्स एसोसिएशन में खेलता हूँ।
Several women also participated in different events.
हमारे टाइम में लड़कियों को खेलने का मौका नहीं मिलता था, तो एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे लगता है कि ये हमें मिला है कि इस उम्र में आके भी हम मेहनत करके अपनी अचीवमेंट दे सकते हैं। और एक ये ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है कि इस पे अगर आप आएंगे तो शायद मुझे जो लगता है, अपने जीवन से जो लगता है कि हम किसी गलत ट्रैक पर नहीं जाएंगे।
The message these athletes are sending is, it is never too late to chase your passion. Bureau Report, India Today.
A very good afternoon. You're watching India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Let me take you through the top news. The headlines first. After massive uproar in the parliament, both houses have been adjourned. Rahul enters the parliament. When asked about an apology, says he'll respond inside the house. House is due to resume at 2 p.m. Kavitha skips second round of ED grilling, alleges breach of privacy, says ready for questioning at home. Another CCTV image of Umesh murder has been accessed, chilling Prayagraj shootout caught on camera. Umesh seen confronting shooter Asad. Moments later, bullets and bombs flew in Prayagraj. Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute resurfaces. Maharashtra health scheme for disputed villages, while Karnataka Congress warns of agitation, says Chief Minister has failed to protect Karnataka's interests. And face off after B.S. Yadurappa's poll pitch for his son. B.S. Yadurappa's son Vijendra hits back at C.T. Ravi, warns don't target a veteran. Big news on an actor, Aman Dhaliwal, quite a popular actor who has worked in several Punjabi and Hindi films, has been attacked in the United States. An assailant entered the gym armed with a knife and launched an all-out attack. Apart from Punjabi films, Aman was also seen alongside Hrithik Roshan, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan and Jodha Akbar. Quite sad as he's been assaulted and has been injured as a man managed to enter the gym that he was working out in. He was armed with a knife and launched an all-out attack on Aman Dhaliwal. Punjabi actor Aman Dhaliwal has been attacked in the United States, and that's a CCTV image that you see there. That's the CCTV footage showing Aman Dhaliwal dropping to the ground after an attacker managed to enter the gym that he was working out in and launched an all-out attack using a knife. Let me cut across to Kamaljit, joining us more. Kamal, this happened in New York. One would imagine tight security anywhere there. This man walks in with a knife and attacks the actor Aman Dhaliwal. Would you know if this is a targeted attack? Who is this attacker?
Well, details are not really known, but in a 30-second clip, which is now actually going viral on social media, the attacker is shown not only being with Aman Dhaliwal and obviously holding up with a sharp-edged weapon which looks like a knife or an axe. And this was at a time when he was actually exercising in the gym Planet Fitness. We've been told the location is 3685 Grand Oaks in the United States. But clearly, there has also been a Twitter, there has been a message coming in from the actor himself. He says he's not able to excuse, he's not able to speak because he is not feeling well, but there are a number of stitches which have come up. But clearly, at one point of time where there seems to be a lot of scare as far as communities are concerned, the people are concerned regarding gun laws, there is also a lot of purpose which is not now really clear whether this was a planned attack because remember there are other people who are seen overpowering this particular person who was holding up the actor with a sharp-edged weapon. Clearly a big scare, but also goes to show the bravery of the actor because he showed presence of mind. It could have gone any which way. If the attacker could have actually hit him and seized, but he's been bleeding from several places, at least on his forehead. There are marks, and obviously later on there are visuals which can actually show the actor has been physically and critically injured. So there are several stitches. But clearly some presence of mind and the actor showing that moment of courage and overpowering the attackers before the others in the gym could actually come and capture this assailant. The police is going to be able to tell more, but at this point of time, what we know is the actor is critical but is safe and he is getting a treatment.
Aman Dhaliwal is a popular actor, Kamaljit. He's been part of several Punjabi movies, and from the looks of it, that visual there showing that man wielding a knife, going straight to Dhaliwal itself, and it almost looked as if the target was Aman Dhaliwal, and it was quick that the people around there pinned that attacker down to the ground while Dhaliwal was spotted holding himself with pain.
The purpose has to be known, because what was the motive and whether it was plain robbery, mugging, or for that matter, because the man entered the gym, the fact that he could plainly come in and hold somebody at a knife point, and this is where capturing a certain moment, that is when the actor seems to have reacted, and the moment he actually overpowered the attacker, that's when the others actually rushed in to really help and pin down this particular assailant. The details are not clear at this point of time, whether this was done very purposefully, whether it was robbery or mugging. The nature of the attack particularly is seen because it is being captured on the CCTV and there is a footage now available. But the motive is still very uncertain at this point of time.
All right. Thank you very much, Kamal, for joining us on that. All right, big update coming in on K. Kavitha not attending the ED summons today. Her representative has appeared before the ED office and has submitted a letter asking for exemption to be appearing before them today. The matter is in Supreme Court. That's what the representative says. Basically, Kavitha herself approving that her representative go to the ED office on behalf of her, and the letter extensively says that the matter is still in Supreme Court. Kavitha now playing this woman card there, saying she can't be summoned. I'm a woman, I should be protected by law, I should not be summoned. I'm ready to appear through audio or video mode. I invited officers to question me at my residence, but officials have rejected my request. I had been questioned by the ED earlier as well. ED chose to impound my phone. In fact, she says the ED has seized her phone despite there being no directive in the summons on that front. Nothing was brought on record to how my phone was connected with alleged offence, with this offence here. It is the breach of my privacy. The fact that she claims that in the previous round of questioning, where she was grilled for about 9 hours, we believe the ED has seized her phone. K. Kavitha cries foul, saying, how can the ED seize my phone when they're not able to tell me exactly what's the reason for it, and they're not establishing any link of my phone being connected to this alleged scam. Now, she says this is an absolute breach of my privacy. Milind Sharma joining us with that information on that. Milind, K. Kavitha asking to be treated like a, she's basically playing the woman card here, asking for preferential treatment, saying I've been asked to come and appear in person, while the law gives me the right to be questioned at home or wherever I'm comfortable in because I'm a woman. That said, we heard from Manish time and again saying that when it comes to money laundering allegations, the person will have to appear in person. There is no exemption, be it a woman or a man. What makes Kavitha think that she will be exempted this time?
Well, Nabila, I'd just like to disagree with you on the fact that she's playing a woman card. Her legal representatives have thought over her response to what the ED is currently doing with regards to the money laundering case here, specifically the liquor policy case. Her assertions that she's a woman and that she was questioned beyond 7 o'clock or 6:30 is what the timing stated by law till 8:30 has been put forward by her legal representative. By law, she is free to fight her case. As Munish also mentioned, that it is on her, the onus is on K. Kavitha to prove that she is innocent and that she is not liable to questioning or the kind of charges that have been put forward by ED. One very interesting anecdote I want to share from her letter that she has sent off to the Enforcement Directorate is that she was specifically called on the 11th, that was the first day of questioning, to be confronted by one of the arrested accused. That was not done, and it was mentioned candidly by the officer, Ms. Bhanupriya Meena, who is the Enforcement Directorate officer, and she says that they have had some change in plans. So she was brought in for the specific request to confront her with the accused. That didn't happen. She was not told to bring her phone. It was not intimated that her phones will be seized. That also has been mentioned in the letter. She has also mentioned that she requested specifically to be questioned in her house. Of course, as a female, that was also rejected by the Enforcement Directorate. She also requested that all the requisite documents will be put forward by her legal representative. Of course, now as we speak, Nabila, the representation that went to ED is back at KCR's residence, and he has said that she is well within her rights under section 50(3) to say it's her discretion on whether or not she appears before the ED summons in the way that the Enforcement Directorate chooses her to appear. So now it is upon the Enforcement Directorate to come forward with the more substantiated statement stating that she indeed has to appear before them in person. But from her legal representation and the information that we broke on India Today First, it clearly shows whatever we have said has been stated in the letter. She's claiming breach of privacy. She's claiming that she had already written to Enforcement Directorate and the request was made. Another very important point, apart from the confrontation point that is stated in the letter, is that now the matter is sub judice in the Supreme Court of India, and that forms a very strong argument from their legal representatives, the date for which has been set on 24th of March in the same case, and that is being put as one of the prime reasons that she is not appearing before the Enforcement Directorate today.
All right, but you know, I'm going to cut across to Palmi Saha on that. Palmi, as we see, Kavitha has said, I'm a woman, I should be protected under law. Do elaborate for us as part of that letter, what more has Kavitha said, almost accusing the ED of acting arbitrarily. Her phone was seized. She says she had no knowledge of that would happen. But tell us a little more. Read out that letter that you have with you as India Today accesses some inside details here.
Right, so a couple of the points that Nabila she's making in that letter. One, that as a woman, she shouldn't be, and she's protected by the law, she shouldn't be called to the Enforcement Directorate's office. This is where she says that in response to your earlier summons dated the 7th of March, I have vividly brought to your kind notice inter alia that I, being a woman and protected by the postulates of law, may not be called to the office of the directorate, and that I was willing and ready to appear through audio or video mode, and had also invited the officers at my residence, which is as per the mandate of the law. She also, of course, as you know, has approached the Supreme Court yesterday. The Supreme Court has posted that matter for the 24th of March because, again, she mentioned this matter that she is willing to appear before the Enforcement Directorate, but as per the postulates of law, she is protected and she shouldn't be called to the Directorate's office. They can come, the officers can come to her residence and in fact question her. She says, I have reasons to believe and a grave apprehension that the inquiry and the investigation being carried out may not have the sanctity of law, and my expectation of a free, fair or impartial trial or investigation has been severely impaired. 2 points that she's making in that letter is that I was not asked to bring in my phone
Stay with us,
stay
with us. Palmi Saha, stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across to Rahul Gandhi in the Parliament. The first reaction even before the session resumes. Rahul Gandhi has arrived in the Parliament and speaking. I'm going to cut across to those images coming in. First reaction of Rahul Gandhi as soon as he comes into the Parliament building. He's speaking. Let's have a listen.
सर बोलिए इधर इधर
नहीं देख रहा अरे यार ये दीदी के देखे
Something, sir. Government is demanding for your apology, sir. Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, Rahul, sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir. Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, Rahul, sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir. Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, Rahul, sir, do you want to say...
if he is allowed to speak inside the parliament, then he will say what he thinks and feels. Supriya Bharadwaj joining us live for more on that. Supriya, where is Rahul Gandhi headed off to? Isn't the session going to resume in about 45 minutes? Tell us more as Rahul Gandhi appears in the parliament first time after that foreign comment he made.
Well, Nabila, right now the House is going to meet at 2 p.m. and what we are hearing is that all the MPs, including Mr. Gandhi from the Congress party, will be reaching the Parliament around 1:50 p.m. And after that, he has already categorically stated that if allowed to speak in the House, he will speak and keep his side of the story. And already the Congress party is up in arms, right from Congress President Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and other leaders. As well as today, even the opposition MPs who are staging a protest have said that Rahul Gandhi is not going to apologize, and apologize for what? So right now the information that we can give you is that Rahul Gandhi came to the House, he stayed here, and now around 1:50 he's expected to come back. And what we are hearing from our sources is that the Congress party will be saying that let the leaders speak in the House, in Lok Sabha. As far as Congress is concerned and Rahul Gandhi is concerned, they have made it. Rahul Gandhi has made it clear that if given a chance, he will speak in Lok Sabha itself. So this is what he said to the media. As far as Congress is concerned, they are saying that apologize for what Mallikarjun Kharge has been saying this morning. All the other Congress party MPs and leaders are also saying that nothing wrong. Rahul Gandhi has said nothing wrong, and he will not apologize. So the stalemate continues. Rahul Gandhi, what we are hearing from the Congress is that along with other MPs will be returning to the House around 1:50.
All right, 1:50 is going to be returning to the Parliament. Rahul Gandhi, who arrived into the Parliament at 12:30, much after the session was adjourned, has been asked by the media there whether he would apologize. He says, if I'm asked to speak inside the Parliament, I will say what I feel. Listening.
Your opponent is demanding for your apology, sir. Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir. Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Government is demanding for your apology, sir. Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Rahul Gandhi, right outside the Parliament, says, if they're going to allow me to speak inside the Parliament, I will say what I think. This is precisely the statement he made even on international platforms while he was in London speaking. He spoke about how he wasn't being allowed to speak inside the Parliament and he was gagged often. That was what he said there, and here too he maintains that if he's allowed to speak, almost suggesting that he's never allowed to speak. So he says, if I'm allowed to speak, then I will say what I think. Rahul Gandhi, for the first time, appearing right after the entire controversy that broke out about what he said on foreign soil, where he spoke about India's democracy being dead, about Modi government being an authoritarian regime, about minorities being second-class citizens, several statements that have received huge backlash, and now the BJP demanding an apology from Rahul Gandhi. He says, I will not apologize, but if I'm allowed to speak inside the Parliament, I'm going to say what I think.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think.
Gandhi, instead of coming to Parliament and apologizing for his undemocratic rant against India, today seeks to be absent from Parliament.
देश के लोगों ने कांग्रेस को नकार दिया है, राहुल गांधी को नकार दिया है, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि देश को ही बदनाम करे, हमारे लोकतंत्र व्यवस्था को गाली दे, हमारे पार्लियामेंट संसद को नीचा दिखाने के लिए विदेश में जाकर के अनाप शनाप बातें करे, ये हम कभी भी मंजूर नहीं करेंगे और हम चुपचाप नहीं बैठेंगे।
देश के बारे इस तरह के विचार रखना ये दुर्भाग्य है जी। ये पार्टी जो खुद 60 साल सत्ता में रही और अब उनको भी विदेश में जाकर किसी ने ज्ञान दिया कि जब इंदिरा जी भी विदेश आई थी तब देश के बारे में कुछ नहीं कहा था, लेकिन आप उनसे ही कुछ सीख लीजिए।
अपोजिशन के पास कोई मुद्दा नहीं है, लेकिन जो राहुल गांधी पार्लियामेंट को बिलिटल किया है, पार्लियामेंट का जो अपमान किया है, घोर अपमान किया है, इसके लिए माफ़ी मांगना चाहिए। ये सारे दुनिया में जो भारतीय रहते हैं उन लोगों का अपेक्षा है।
सिर्फ चुनाव के मद्देनजर और खासकर कर्नाटक चुनाव के मद्देनजर ये राहुल गांधी जी को छवि की धूमिल करने के हर संभव प्रयास कर रहे हैं और इसमें एक साजिश की रूप से ये किए जा रहे हैं। मोदी सरकार की हिम्मत है, दम है, जिगर है तो सदन के अंदर राहुल गांधी जी की बयान पे चर्चा करने की इजाजत हो। राहुल गांधी नहीं, ये देश विरोधी है मोदी सरकार और बीजेपी सरकार और बीजेपी की जो सोच, ये देश विरोधी सोच है।
हैं कौन राहुल गांधी? एक मामूली सांसद है ना, कांग्रेस के लिए कुछ भी होंगे। यहाँ तो वो मामूली सांसद है ना, वो कांग्रेस पार्टी के अध्यक्ष नहीं है, पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी के नेता नहीं है, लीडर ऑफ द सिंगल लार्जेस्ट ऑपोजिशन पार्टी नहीं है। हैं क्या? एक मामूली सांसद है। कांग्रेस के लिए बड़े तोप होंगे, लेकिन इस पार्लियामेंट के लिए जैसे मेरी हैसियत है वैसे राहुल गांधी की हैसियत है। तो यदि उसके बारे में पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी पूरी इकट्ठा होकर एक जो है कैजुअल लीडर के लिए खड़ी होती है तो उनके बुद्धि पर तरस आता है।
देखो, हमारा एक ही मकसद है कि पार्लियामेंट में ये अदानी के मसले पे चर्चा हो, जेपीसी कायम करे और जेपीसी में जो भी सत्यता निकलेगी उसको तो सभी स्वीकार करेंगे। इसीलिए हम चाहेंगे कि जेपीसी के गठन हो और हम उसी के ऊपर कल भी प्रोटेस्ट किए। गवर्नमेंट खुद ब खुद होके हाउस को बंद करना चाहती है। रोज उठ के रूलिंग पार्टी के लोग ही गड़बड़ करते हैं। अभी अपोजिशन के उठते नहीं बोलने के लिए, लेकिन सरकार के लोग पहले ही उठते हंगामा, माफी मांगो माफी मांगो। ये क्या है? क्या खुद इंस्टिगेट कर रही सरकार और दूसरों को डेमोक्रेसी बात सुनाती है। माफी मांगने का सवाल ही नहीं।
All right, let's have a listen yet again what Rahul Gandhi said on a platform in the United Kingdom as part of his speech that's really led to now an unabated uproar inside the parliament.
Speak in parliament, then I will say what I think.
So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone. Right? Which is a real problem with regards to, and frankly, the opposition is fighting that battle, right? And it's not just an Indian battle; it's actually a much more important battle. It is a battle for a huge part of the democratic people.
How would you react if democracy suddenly disappeared in Europe? Right? You'd be shocked and you'd be like, oh my God, that's a massive blow to democracy. Well, how would you react if something, a structure 3.5 times Europe suddenly went non-democratic? Right? That's happened already. That's not something that is going to happen in the future. That's already happened.
All right, on that note, I'm going to slip into a short break. We'll be right back tracking those developments on the other side.
Do you think all this will fit in?
Sorted for the week.
Get long-lasting freshness and a lot more intelligence with built-in refrigerators from Hefala. Welcome to the future. Hefla, let's reimagine.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India. The India Moment. India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the man behind the India moment. The unmissable 20th edition of India Today Conclave 2023.
All right, big update coming in. Mahua Moitra jumps in and backs Rahul Gandhi and his claims about democracy being under attack in India. She puts out a tweet and comments saying, last 3 days, I saw Speaker Om Birla allowing only BJP ministers to speak on the mic. Democracy is under attack. Mahua Moitra says this on Twitter. She puts out a stern message backing Rahul Gandhi's comment saying, the last 3 days, I saw Speaker Om Birla allowing only BJP ministers to speak on the mic. Democracy is under attack. This is Mahua Moitra accusing the Lok Sabha Speaker of being biased and allowing only BJP leaders to speak on the mic extensively. We know that right from the start of the second leg of budget session that began in the Parliament on Monday, the House has been adjourned. In just a few minutes into a discussion and chaos that erupts, and then you have the Speaker adjourning the House in no time. She says that only BJP ministers were allowed to speak on the mic and no one else. Democracy is under attack. Mahua Moitra, the TMC Neta, backing the Congress's Rahul Gandhi. Palmi Saha joining us right from the newsroom for that. Palmi, Mahua Moitra putting out a message on Twitter backing Rahul Gandhi's statement that democracy is under attack in India. She says in the last 3 days, she's seen only BJP ministers being allowed to speak on the mic, no one else. And again, asserts that point there, saying democracy is under attack. And this comes at a time when TMC has not been part of demonstrations rolled out by the Congress, but you have TMC's Mahua now putting out a tweet in support of Rahul.
That's right. This is a tweet, in fact, Nabila, that Mahua Moitra, TMC Member of Parliament from the Lok Sabha, put out last evening. So here she says, last 3 days saw Speaker Om Birla allow only BJP ministers to speak on mic and then adjourn Parliament with not a single opposition member being allowed to speak. Democracy is under attack and the Speaker leads from the front, and I'm willing to go to jail for this tweet. It's a very serious charge that the TMC Member of Parliament is making. She's directly pointing fingers at the Speaker of the House, saying that he, in fact, is favouring only BJP ministers. Remember that this is the charge that the Congress has been making as well since day one of the second half of the budget session, which started on Monday. It was then claimed that on the first day when Rajnath Singh stood up in the Lok Sabha and demanded an apology from Rahul Gandhi, that even the opposition wanted to speak and say something, but they were not allowed to do so. It was only BJP microphones and those of the Treasury benches that seemed to be on, and that's the charge which was levelled concerning the Rajya Sabha as well. And now the TMC Member of Parliament coming forward and, like you said, joining voice with the Congress, of course, saying that democracy is under attack, as has been said by Rahul Gandhi, for which he is facing flack from the centre and the BJP. She, of course, is supporting him in that statement and is also making a very serious charge against the Speaker himself. Today, of course, the Speaker, before, of course, he had to adjourn the House because of the commotion in the House, had said that you tell outside and you say outside that you're not allowed to speak. Here, I'm trying to allow you to speak, but you're all in the well of the House.
All right, we're going to continue tracking those developments. 2 p.m. is when the House is likely to resume after it was adjourned at 11 a.m. Paul, we thank you. We're going to slip into a short break, and coming up next, our very interesting special broadcast here on ChatGPT-4. As AI tech gets a lot more powerful, is ChatGPT-4 the newest competitor to Google? Watch out on the other side.
The polarization Nataka continues. With the vitiated political atmosphere, communal tension erupted in Karnataka's Haveri district. A rally by Hindu activists took a violent turn after stones were pelted at a local mosque. Muslim locals alleged that their homes too were targeted while a rally to install a statue of renowned Kannada warrior Sangoli Rayanna statue was passing by.
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಊರಾಗ ಬದುಕದ ಅವರಾಗ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಮುಖ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಾಗ ಈಗ 2 ಸತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ ಅವ್ರು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಐತೆ ಅಂತ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಣಿ ಐತಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಚಿನ ಮ್ಯಾಲಿಂದ ಕಲ್ಲು ಒಗ್ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಂಟಕ್ ಬಿದ್ದಿತ್ರಿ ನಾನು ನಡ್ಯಾಕ ಆಗತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಆಕಿಗೆ ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿತ್ತಿ ಆಕಿ ಮ್ಯಾಲೆ ಬಟ್ಟಿ ಒಣಗಾಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾಳ ಆಕಿಗೆ ತಲೆಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿತ್ತು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕೇನ್ರಿ ಈಗ
Cops immediately cracked the whip with an FIR being registered against the miscreants. They have assured that there is no communal tension in the area now.
ಬೈಕ್ ರ್ಯಾಲಿಯಿಂದ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ತಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಮಾರ್ಗನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಂಜ ಮಸೀದಿ ಹತ್ರ ತೂರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 8-10 ಮನೆಗಳು ಜಖಂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು 2 ವಾಹನಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಜಖಂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಹತೋಟಿಗೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡರು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 15 ಹುಡುಗರನ್ನು ವಿಚಾರಣೆಗೆ ಕಸ್ಟಡಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಜರುಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸದ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
This is the second such incident in Haveri. Just about 5 days ago, pelting was reported when these activists had led a rally with the same statue. Meanwhile, BJP MLA BC Patil appealed for peace, but also reiterated that there was no political conspiracy behind the violence.
ನನಗೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಕೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀನಿ.
ಅವ್ರೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ BC ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಅವರೇ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತವರು ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಅಂತ ಕೀಳು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ BC ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಎಂದೂ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಶಾಂತ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ವಿನಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ಈಗ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
The people of Karnataka are now paying the price for the non-stop polarization politics by netas in the run-up to the elections in the state. Bureau Report, India Today.
AI tech gets more powerful. Move over ChatGPT. ChatGPT 4 is here. ChatGPT 4 stuns tech industry. ChatGPT 4 newest Google competitor. Let the AI revolution begin. Are you on ChatGPT?
Hello and welcome to this very special broadcast that we're bringing to you on ChatGPT 4. OpenAI has released GPT-4, the latest version of its hugely popular artificial intelligence chatbot ChatGPT. The new model can respond to images and process up to 25,000 words. That's about 8 times as many as ChatGPT. Here's a complete lowdown what this new chatbot is like and how exactly it is different from its predecessor.
ChatGPT, OpenAI, AI chatbot. These are a few words that have been buzzing constantly over the past 3 months after Elon Musk founded AI research body OpenAI launched ChatGPT and took the world by a storm. And while we are still understanding ChatGPT, the internet is once again in awe of OpenAI with the launch of GPT-4. For the uninitiated, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, a language model that uses deep learning to produce human-like texts. Now, ChatGPT was initially described as GPT 3.5 model, and we all saw what it could do. But now, with GPT-4, it only gets better. ChatGPT was restricted to text, but now one can even use images to ask chatbot. It also comes with a sharper memory. A trait that made ChatGPT stand out against other AI assistants like Alexa or Siri was its ability to retain the context of the conversation. And with GPT-4, this memory gets better. GPT-4 is also multilingual and is hard to trick when it comes to AI bots. Many users trick bots into questions and hypothetical situations, but OpenAI has claimed that GPT-4 has the ability to maintain rationale and not get tricked easily. What makes it even more interesting is that GPT-4 can assume personalities and talk to you in a way you want it to. So if you want the bot to talk to you like your American friend who is an army officer, it will assume that character and talk in that lingo. Unlike ChatGPT, GPT-4 is behind a paywall. In order to use it, a user has to simply log into the OpenAI website and upgrade to the Plus model. It currently costs about $20 a month. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman took to Twitter to explain that the model is still flawed and limited, but will certainly grow on you. Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, joining us this morning, Ayush Ailavadi, who's my colleague. He's technology editor and presenter. Also, Kanishk Gaur, founder and CEO, India Future Foundation. He's also the former director of Cyber and Digital Transformation, EY. Good morning to both of you. Ayush, I'll come across to you first. First of all, how is GPT-4 different from its predecessor?
Well, GPT-4 is different in a number of ways, but largely when we talk about it, it is much faster. In simple words, it can deal with many more nuanced instructions than the previous generations. And more importantly, it can now also, eventually at least, keep images as input. So that's going to be a game changer, but that's not gone live yet. For ChatGPT Plus users, we already have GPT-4. But just to give you a little bit of insight, a few weeks ago on Tech Today, we had access to Bing, which was powered by GPT-4. A previous generation, an early version of it, but we got quite an interesting, hypothesis with ChatGPT and Bing-powered ChatGPT, because the potential is endless when you're talking about what this can actually do, right? It largely relies on a multimodal model. Now, what does that mean? It can take text inputs of more than 25,000 words. You could earlier just do 3,000 words. It'll also have an updated data set, because earlier on, ChatGPT, I think, had a data set till September 21. So a lot of the responses you're getting were dated. Now, the good thing is, like the previous package was saying, that even Sam Altman of OpenAI has largely accepted that this is a model which is going to get better with time. The entire team at OpenAI and AI experts do largely agree that AI will get better with more of us using it as well. And I expect GPT-4 to be much smarter. I'm very excited about the image search input feature as well, because they've already had some experiences over the past couple of months with influencers and journalists using Bing, the new Bing, which would take on Google. I think this is fascinating. Just to give you a little bit of quick perspective, if you think of the hype around it, right? There's this crazy stat going around where the number of days it takes to get to 1 million users. Spotify, which is a really popular service, took 150 days. Instagram took half that amount, 75 days. And it's taking ChatGPT, a much lesser time to get to that. In nearly a week, they have gotten to that figure. So you can just think about how exponentially it's growing in the world of AI. And I think GPT-4 is going to be no stranger to that phenomenon.
Okay, so is what kind of a sign is that? That's going to be something that we should be analyzing as well. Kanish, if I come across to you, what does this mean for the future of AI as well? Also, for jobs, should we be worried? Will ChatGPT, GPT-4 replace humans?
Thanks. I don't think so. ChatGPT will replace humans. There is always a need for upskilling and working with AI. However, there could be certain types of jobs which might get redundant, which could be content writing, right? A lot of people hire content writers. Now, if you've got ChatGPT, which can produce content in a fantastic way, then those jobs might be redundant very soon. We will also require people who can use ChatGPT with some of the other functionalities and be used for creating content, narrative, could be used for data analyzing. So if you look at Morgan Stanley started using ChatGPT 4 for analyzing data. So we would see that analysts who are working on technology or using data science would start using ChatGPT 4 for doing analysis. However, there are still limitations in terms of biases which ChatGPT 4 might bring in. And this was an issue with the earlier GPT version as well. So the feeding which goes into GPT-4 is going to be very, very important. So for example, if I put in a lot of fake news about somebody on the internet, there is a strong possibility that ChatGPT-4 will pick that news and create an image or a narrative which may be biased or misleading. So this is one of the key risks which you will see. So ethics will be a big concern here. The other concern is going to be how do you tackle fake news and misinformation which could be picked up through the internet and could be misleading for platforms like ChatGPT. The other concern is going to be how does some of the other businesses which so far use Bing adapt, right? So how do you use AI to enable greater marketing, sales, where everybody is relying on data? So how do you supplement using AI is going to be a key question here. So we would see that a lot of companies so far have not been using ChatGPT for business. So ChatGPT for business is going to be a key component apart from personal use. So I see a heavy application of ChatGPT when it comes to business.
Kanish, stay on with us, and Ayush as well. Now, the ChatGPT 4 chatter. Let's take you through some of the advantages and disadvantages. This is what we, of course, are gauging from our understanding of what we're picking up from the internet itself. So some of the advantages: quick response time, that's one of the advantages. Also a disadvantage, limited knowledge of recent events. So not much is known about after 2021 is what we know from ChatGPT 4. So that is one advantage. Good understanding of ethics and morality. Disadvantage, can generate incorrect information. Again, I misrepresent something on the internet, that's what GPT-4 picks up. That's going to be problematic. So these are some of the advantages and disadvantages. Also, advantage, less expensive. Of course, this is all available on the internet. You pay a premium, you can now access GPT-4. Disadvantage, misunderstands the task. So that is something which is very critical as far as when you, of course, take recourse to a chat bot in terms of seeking its help. It could misunderstand tasks, it could provide you with incorrect information as well. Ayush is still with us. Ayush, again, we just took our viewers through some of the advantages and some of the disadvantages. Very intriguing for me to see that it has a good sense of morality and ethics. And then, of course, disadvantages also, that it could misunderstand tasks, that it could possibly pick up misinformation, as Kanish was also saying, from the internet in order to, of course, then pass it on.
Absolutely. That's a huge concern when you're talking about the data sets that it is using. But obviously, this is all yet in initial days. These are teething issues. Things will get better. Just to give you some perspective on the jobs debate that you guys were talking about earlier, overall, the impact of AI on jobs will depend on many factors, including the type of the job, the level of automation that's possible, and the rate of adoption of AI technologies by different industries. But it's also likely that new job opportunities will arise as a result of the increased use of AI. Now, that was not me saying that. That was actually me asking ChatGPT-4 exactly what will AI do? Will AI take away jobs? I'm just giving you an example of how even AI, ChatGPT has its own view on it. But largely to answer that debate, look, will it take away jobs? I really think genuinely it will augment a lot of existing jobs, ones that are repetitive and redundant, yes. But largely we're talking about schools, we're talking about large organizations, we're talking about coders, because this GPT-4 version is already being used by coders and top companies to integrate into their existing workflows. Yeah, I was with leading cloud service providers. Well, even they are already talking about how you can use GPT-4 with AI and ML models. If you don't pick it up early on, it might be something that could essentially hamper your growth. So all of us should get onto it and try figuring out what it's going to be like, because honestly, it's going to change the user experience with search as well. In terms of some of the concerns, look, GPT-4 does use the internet and trolls through all these data sets and gives you these answers. You're relying on a more accurate model and all the marketing spiel from OpenAI. But often on Tech Today, we have spoken to experts who have essentially revealed to us that if you were to plant that misinformation and it was to pick that up, and if the checks and balances weren't in place, it could be a concern. Also, in the past, Google had to shut down, some of its early efforts in AI because there were calls and remarks that it was becoming sentient, the AI. Now, that is a concern as well, right? Where does the ethics come in? Where does the privacy and security concerns come in? These are genuine questions we need to ask, but take everything with a pinch of salt. It's great marketing by OpenAI, which is also supported by Microsoft. But for now, let's learn what this AI is all about and give it genuine feedback, because it's only going to get better if we are responsible with the use of AI like GPT-4.
Okay. Kanishk, would you like to come in over there? Would you agree with Ayush when we, of course, told our viewers, gave them a sense of the advantages and the disadvantages? How do you think, which one outweighs the other?
So obviously there's a great advantage with ChatGPT-4 because it's going to help people enhance their work. It's going to help people in businesses. But there is also a couple of aspects which Ayush highlighted around security, privacy, on biases. So some of these things have to be taken into consideration. For example, India is contemplating a data protection bill. But if there is so much of information available about me on the internet, how do I safeguard my privacy from platforms like ChatGPT? Is going to be key concern. And ethics of AI, we've spoken about it. There could be aspects, for example, if there are coders who are using ChatGPT to write code or pick up code, they might pick up a code using AI, which could be vulnerable code. So for example, a coder might go to GitHub and pick up a code from somewhere else automatically, and it might have security weaknesses. It might expose the entire platform of that company to major security threats and vulnerabilities. So that could be one of the key concerns, right? Too much dependence on AI without taking security by design or trust by design or privacy by design are going to be some of the key concerns. But we have seen that Microsoft, OpenAI, they build on some of these aspects as we move forward. A lot of times, initially when products are built, they are built to scale to generate more users to start using it. And eventually we see security, privacy concerns being aligned. But today, the world is also getting more data localized. We have seen data localization regulations coming. We are seeing data protection regulations come in, and these are very different in every part of the globe. So California data protection bill is going to be different. GDPR in EU is different, right? And when India comes out, so how does a platform like ChatGPT adapt to some of these regulations is going to be a key concern. So regulatory concerns are going to be very, very important for ChatGPT. However, there is strong potential to create new jobs where people would require ChatGPT to use, as part of their daily lives. So you will see large number of job descriptions coming out where there will be a pre-requirement that people should understand and learn how to use ChatGPT. So I see, banking sector using ChatGPT in a big way, e-commerce sector using ChatGPT in a big way, even healthcare sector, right? So that's going to be a big win for ChatGPT. So striving that perfect balance between creating new jobs and also looking at security, privacy, and trust is going to be a key concern here.
Okay. Important points that are being raised by both you, Kanishk, and Ayush. Please stay on with us. GPT-4, in fact, the underlying technology of ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT-4 is here, and it is promised to be better and more sophisticated than its predecessor. Let's take a look at its underlying concerns, though.
OpenAI's ChatGPT has taken the world by storm, raising concerns on whether artificial intelligence may be on track to replace humans. But while the chatbot has shown it can hold a conversation, answer questions or examinations, and even write coherent code,
ChatGPT has also been plagued with concerns. The biggest fear pertains to education. Relying too heavily on the tool could lead to a lack of critical thinking skills or pave way for plagiarism and cheating. OpenAI has admitted the chatbot has limited knowledge of world events after 2021 and might file replies with incorrect data. The chatbot could also be used to generate malicious code, which means hackers could create malware, potentially leading to many more attacks and breaches. Artificial intelligence content can sound extremely confident and authoritative and yet be completely wrong, a term scientists label as hallucination. It could also help governments, companies, and other organizations spread misinformation and distribute propaganda much more efficiently. There are no doubts that artificial intelligence tools can revolutionize technology as we know it, but there is also no denying that there is a dark side. Bureau Report, India Today.
Right, Kanishka, I'll come back across to you. You know, just to keep things a little light, viewers want to understand what does the future look like. When we look at ChatGPT, we're looking at GPT-4. What does the future look like? Like some people even want to know, are anchors like me going to be replaced in discussions like this, and ChatGPT-4 will be talking to you next?
See, it's going to be how humans adapt to ChatGPT and use it in their daily lives. The kind of new jobs which will get created where AI is going to be a key component. I don't think so humans are going to get replaced. It is only going to be upskilling and enhancing our work function. For example, if you look at marketing today, a lot of content is created by content generators. AI could be used for generating content and then be used for it enhancing it further. So ChatGPT could be used for creating new videos, text. It could be used for writing speeches. It could be used for doing analysis when you put out a lot of data. So that's something which is a key element. So a lot of times when you work on ChatGPT, you have to feed in data. Otherwise, ChatGPT does not give you right answers. So what's going to change is now you can not only feed data, but you'll be able to feed videos as images as well, and later videos. So you can start using text, images, and videos to then analyze situations. So that's going to be a key differentiator. A lot of this work was done manually. So far the demand has been on data scientists to do this, but this is another tool which data scientists could use. There will be excellent use case in data science. There would be excellent use case in marketing. This would also require great amount of use by financial analysts, right? But the key issue is that the GPT data is only updated till 2021. How GPT-4 gets feeded post October 2, 2021 is going to be a key thing. And would that be done by OpenAI themselves, or they're going to create new interfaces is going to be a very important aspect. Another key concern I want to highlight here is that people who do cyber attacks or cyber frauds could use GPT-4 for automating a lot of cyber attacks using artificial intelligence. And if you start feeding in data to ChatGPT, it can create new mechanisms to fraud people. It can create new mechanisms to actually do attacks on people's digital infrastructure. So that is going to be a key concern, and how OpenAI looks at stopping this is going to be a very important task.
All right. Okay. Some very important points that have been raised by both you and Ayush through this discussion. Something, of course, to chew over as well. Ayush Alavadi and Kanish Kaur, thank you so much for joining us this morning with your thoughts and perspectives on GPT-4. Now, the authoritative voices on artificial intelligence, Brad Smith and Ren Aitu, will in fact join us on India Today Conclave. Tune in on March 17 and 18 to listen to these voices, and all your questions on artificial intelligence will be answered.
Prime Minister Modi's always had a special equation with the India Today Conclave. Some of the most memorable interactions, interviews, speeches have been made at the stage of the conclave.
As we mark 20 years of the India Today Conclave, we're very fittingly celebrating it as the India Moment.
The biggest thought platform in the country and the country's biggest political superstar coming together. Looking forward to hearing Prime Minister Narendra Modi talk about India's
G20 presidency.
I'm really intrigued to know what he's going to be wearing, because if there are lessons to be taken on how to power dress in an Indian attire, it comes from Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
It's also a time for my state elections in Karnataka. Looking forward to his vision for the state.
What Prime Minister's plans are to ensure that India remains on top of the world global order.
Hoping to hear from him on what is his vision or the blueprint of New India.
Welcome, Prime Minister.
Vanakkam, Pradhamar Thiru Narendra Modi avargalukku.
Narendra Modi ji, aaseyinda kaayta iddive.
Very warm welcome to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
On Saturday, the 18th of March, as the finale speaker of this year's conclave.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Dhananjay Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India. The India Moment.
See competition in this space, because while you've got investment in and you're launching products and you've got a good team, but there are significant competitors like Kinetic, like Ola, even the incumbent players, legacy fuel players like Bajaj Auto. How do you see yourself locking horns with them?
Well, it's a competitive marketplace. There is the companies you mentioned and more coming in all the time. We have a slight early mover advantage, and hopefully we will do what it takes to maintain that advantage. I don't think any legacy player has any particular advantage in this field, and as I said, it is a completely different product altogether. It needs a different outlook. So, an early mover advantage definitely will benefit us in the long term. We're learning all the time.
Any market share targets that you have? Because I believe that Ampere, the company that you bought and through which you're launching many products, has about a 12-13% share in the market. Would you be confident of maintaining that? Would you be content with having that kind of a share eventually as this market unfolds and expands?
Yes, we have targeted a 15% market share, and we're close. We're about 13%, as you said, 12-13% now, and we are confident that we can maintain that share.
India Today. I'm Nabila Jamal. Big showdown in the parliament as Rahul Gandhi makes his first appearance after the comments he made on foreign soil. We're going to continue tracking that. The headlines first. After massive uproar in the parliament, both houses have been adjourned. Rahul enters the parliament. When asked about an apology, says he will respond inside the house if he's allowed to speak.
Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in parliament, then I will say what I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
After Leica trouble for Manish Sisodia, now CBI files another FIR, and this time on the feedback unit case, snooping case. CBI files FIR against former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister while Kejriwal lashes out at the BJP for it.
Sir, I have two questions. CBI has registered another case against.
Let's talk about the कूड़ा यार. ये तो रोज ही तुमसे बात
have any reactions, sir?
वो भी कूड़ा ही है.
Kavitha escapes second round of ED grilling, alleges breach of privacy, says ready for questioning but at home, says she's a woman, she can and should be protected under law. Another CCTV image of Umesh murder accessed here. Chilling Prayagraj shootout that's been caught on cameras. Umesh seen confronting the shooter Asad. Moments later, bullets and bombs flying across in Prayagraj. A showdown over Mehbooba Mufti's Shiv Puja in Jammu. Deobandi ulema slams prayers at the temple. PDP chief defends the move, says, I respect all religions. And shocking knife attack on popular Punjabi actor and New York actor Aman Dhaliwal, stabbed repeatedly by an assailant inside the gym he was working out in, suffers several injuries. All right, big news coming in. An Army Aviation Cheetah helicopter flying an operational sortie near Bomdila, Arunachal Pradesh was reported to have lost contact with the ATC at around 9:15 a.m. on 16th of March. It's reported to have crashed near Mandala, west of Bomdila. Search parties currently have launched this operation to try and to see what kind of casualties and those people in the chopper, where are they? Suryagni joining us on the phone line for a little more. Suryagni, this army chopper crash, we believe the ATC lost control or any contact of it last night, and we believe that right now update coming in that it's found crashed. Do give us some more details. Who were inside that chopper?
Well, at 9:15 a.m., on today itself, ATC lost control with this army chopper. It was an Indian Army Cheetah helicopter, and it was flying over Bomdila in Arunachal Pradesh. As per the official confirmation of the Eastern Command, it claims that the weather had been extremely foggy and it was not really a good weather. And it is reported that this helicopter, this Cheetah helicopter, has crashed near Mandala, which is west of Bomdila. Two people were flying this particular aircraft, this helicopter rather, and a search operation has been initiated to see, whether something is found in this particular incident or not.
Tell us a little more about this army chopper. What make is it? Do we know who are the people inside? Any word coming in from the government there?
Well, it lost contact around 9:15. That is what it has been said so far. Rescue teams of SSB, Arunachal Pradesh Police, and the Indian Army, they have started the joint operation to find out what happened to the two pilots who were on board. As of yet, the search operation is still on, and the Indian Army is still, making sure that if the two pilots are, if they're alive, they will be rescued somehow, no matter what. But as of yet, the search operations are still on.
All right. Suryagni, to get us more information there, but here big information coming in on an Army Aviation Cheetah helicopter flying an operational sortie near Bomdila, Arunachal Pradesh, was reported to have lost contact with the ATC at around 9:15 a.m. this morning. At 12:30 p.m., information was received from villagers from Banjalep, Dirang PS, the area there that crashed chopper was located and is burning at this point. Search and rescue operations are currently underway. The teams have launched a wide rescue operation. Teams of Army, the SSB and the police have now already left for the spot. As of now, no photographs received yet of the area. There's no signal, there's no contact with anyone in that chopper. The weather today was extremely foggy, we believe, and visibility was barely any. This could have resulted in the chopper crash, the Army chopper crash. We are yet to ascertain who were inside that chopper, but right early this morning around 9 a.m., the ATC seemed to have lost touch and contact with this chopper. It was, in fact, this Army Aviation Cheetah helicopter that was flying an operational sortie near Bomdila, Arunachal Pradesh, was reported to have lost contact with ATC at around 9:15 a.m. on 16th of March. Suryagni, for more on that. Suryagni, again, we believe villagers there had noticed this chopper crash and saw this wreckage and fire burning, have reported to the police in that area, and that's how we hear, and that's how this incident has even come to light in the first place, because the Army had seemed to have lost complete contact with the chopper. There was no way to reach out to those people inside the chopper, and it's very unlikely that the people inside may have survived, isn't it?
Well, yes, and that is the saddest part of this entire incident. But how it is still unclear whether the two pilots who were flying this helicopter, whether they are alive or they are not. There has, the Indian Army, the Eastern Command, still they haven't, come up on the fact that whether the two pilots who were flying this, whether they're alive or not, and the rescue operation is still on. So, as per Army sources, a joint operation has been launched. But the Army is, it's wrecking the entire area. They are trying to find whatever they can and rescue the two, the two pilots, even and to see whether they are alive or not. In all probability, in a very short time from now, we might the Indian Army might give us more details on what actually led to this particular incident. However, what needs to be mentioned is that the weather was very, very foggy, and however, it's still not, the crash is still not related exactly with the weather, but foggy weather and this kind of a weather, in the past we have seen how this kind of a weather has been a reason for, these crashes and all. So in a short while from now, maybe the Army will disclose more information. As of now, what the Army is looking at is somehow, if these two are alive, to rescue them, to make sure medical facilities are produced. And
let's hope the rescue teams really reach out to see if there's any scope of the people inside the chopper being alive. But Suryagni, thank you very much for joining us on that. I'm going to cut across to some big breaking news coming in. All right, big update coming in from the Parliament. Both houses have been adjourned until tomorrow. Rahul Gandhi appeared at the House, appeared at the Lok Sabha. He wanted to be part of the proceedings and said, if I'm allowed to speak, I will say what I think. And the stage was set by the Congress to respond to the BJP. But here it appears that the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha has now been adjourned until tomorrow. Rahul Gandhi is most likely to address a press conference today. Both houses have been adjourned. And that said, Rahul is all set to brief the media on what he intended to speak. Hopefully that's probably going to be the agenda as part of that presser. He will be speaking on the kind of showdown that's relayed in the Parliament over the last few days on his name. Now, amid the showdown over Rahul Gandhi's remarks, Rahul's big address to come by, we're going to wait and see what time that is. But we hear Rahul Gandhi is all set to make a media address, and he will be speaking on what was said inside the Parliament. Let me cut across to a little earlier. Rahul Gandhi, when he reached the Parliament, he was asked by reporters there on whether he would apologize as per BJP's demands. Here's what he said to that.
Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, Supriya Bharadwaj joining us on the phone line. Supriya, tell us more. Rahul Gandhi arrived in the parliament. He was looking forward to make a statement, but it appears that both houses have now been adjourned.
Well, right now the information that we are getting is that Rahul Gandhi met Speaker of Lok Sabha, Mr. Birla. Mr. Gandhi even went ahead and spoke to Mr. Birla and said, what time? This is what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the leader of Congress party in Lok Sabha, has told the media just now. He has said that Mr. Gandhi went and met Mr. Birla and said that his name was taken by the BJP MPs, and again they were saying that he has to respond, and he wants to defend, he wants to come out and defend and tell what exactly happened. Nowhere he has, Congress is saying no, there is no question of apology. So this is what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has just told the media, that Rahul Gandhi has met the Lok Sabha Speaker. Also the information that we are getting from the Congress's portal is that Mr. Gandhi is all set to address a press conference. It's most likely the press conference is going to take place today itself, and in coming few hours. So he is going to speak to the media and will tell as to what exactly happened and what is his side of the story. So these are two breaking news coming in. First being that Rahul Gandhi has actually met the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Mr. Birla, and second being that most likely he's going to address the media in a short while.
All right, Rahul Gandhi there. He appeared at the parliament briefly. He is said to have met with the Lok Sabha Speaker, and even before the House could resume, it appears that they've announced that it's adjourned until tomorrow. Supriya, what was that conversation that he had with the Speaker? Yet again, do tell us a little more if Rahul intended to speak in the parliament. What was that conversation he had with the Speaker?
Your apology, sir.
This is what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has informed the media outside, and he has said that Rahul Gandhi met the Speaker and has said that the BJP MPs and leaders are actually taking his name and leveling allegations, and he also has a right to speak. There is a rule in the House that if some MP's name is taken, then he has a right to defend and put out his side of the story. So Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary told the media that Rahul Gandhi went and sought time from the Speaker that he wants to speak in Lok Sabha. He wants to keep his side of the story, and there has been continuous attacks from the BJP on his name. So he should be also heard. He should be given time to give his side of the story, is what Adhir Ranjan told to the media persons outside. So this is what exactly happened. More details are coming in as to what happened in that meeting. But yes, one thing is for sure that Mr. Gandhi has met the Speaker of Lok Sabha, Mr. Birla, and he has actually sought time to basically speak in the House Lok Sabha.
All right, so he's basically sought time to speak inside the Lok Sabha, but unfortunately for him, the Lok Sabha is adjourned. Let me cut across to Rahul Gandhi. When he arrived in the parliament, he was, of course, showered with questions by reporters asking if he would apologize. Here was his response. Listen in.
Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Rahul sir, do you want to say something, sir? Government is demanding for your apology, sir.
Yeah, if they allow me to speak in Parliament, then I will say what I think.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
A lot of Congress leaders had spoken right from the start of the day, targeting the Modi government. Mallikarjun Kharge also spoke on the lines. Let's listen in what he had said a little earlier.
सरकार के लोग चर्चा नहीं चाहते, सदन में उस मसले को हम उठाना नहीं, इसीलिए उन्होंने ये शुरू किया कि राहुल गांधी जी माफी मांगो। अरे राहुल गांधी जी राज्यसभा के मेंबर तो नहीं है, और राहुल गांधी जी जब हाउस में रहेंगे वो डटकर मुकाबला करेंगे, रिप्लाई देंगे, कोई डरने की बात नहीं है। तुम खुद एंटी डेमोक्रेटिक हो, किसकी बात सुनते नहीं हो, तो एक अनडेमोक्रेटिक मैन डेमोक्रेटिकली काम करने वाले को अगर ऐसा कहते हैं तो इस विषय को हम कंडेम करते हैं और हम इस विषय पे लड़ते रहेंगे.
All right, there you have the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, who said they're not allowed to speak inside the House. It's unfortunate. This is the way Modi government is, and this is how opposition voice is suppressed. Rahul Gandhi, in fact, is said to have met with the Lok Sabha Speaker. He even asked for time. He said, I want to speak, I want to respond to all those allegations leveled against me. Give me time to speak. And just as we expected the House to resume, and it appears that both houses of the Parliament has now been adjourned till tomorrow. And this comes when the Congress came in all smiles and with full spirit, saying that we are all set to respond to all the BJP's allegations today. Rahul Gandhi, who was missing for the last 3 days in the Parliament, finally arrived at 12:30. The House was already adjourned, and now he waited until 2 for the House to resume, but it appears the House is adjourned till tomorrow. Rahul Gautam, our reporter, joining us live for more on that. Rahul, Rahul Gandhi has appeared in the Parliament. He waited for the House to resume. Unfortunately for him, even though he asked time from the Speaker to allow him to speak, the House, even before it started, was adjourned until tomorrow.
Absolutely, and this is what we are learning from our sources, that Rahul Gandhi wanted to speak inside the Parliament about the allegations that are being leveled against him, that he had defamed country on a foreign soil. But because of the fact that both the houses have already been adjourned, now Congress party decided that Rahul Gandhi will be addressing a press conference at 3 p.m. at AICC headquarters. Now expect that Rahul Gandhi will be issuing rebuttals. He'll be coming, he'll be responding to all the allegations that are being leveled against him as to how, he had defamed and insulted and demeaned the Indian democracy on a foreign soil. Remember, for the past 3 days, senior ministers of the BJP, are doing press conferences, in fact, attacking Rahul Gandhi, saying that, his actions have actually demeaned the very dignity of our democratic institutions, and therefore Rahul Gandhi owe an apology to this nation, to which Congress party has been making very clear that Rahul Gandhi has not defamed the country. In fact, he was only speaking about the ground realities that are prevailing in the country. So you can expect that Rahul Gandhi will now be, certainly hitting back at, BJP leaders, and would certainly, describe as to how he was, only speaking about, or he was only putting things in perspective about the, current alleged onslaught on democratic institutions. And they expect that this war of words is certainly going to escalate in coming days.
Rahul Gandhi and team, the Congress itself came in with much spirit and enthusiasm today, all smiles. Manikam Tagore put out a tweet saying, wait until 11 a.m. Anurag Thakur, Smriti Irani. It was almost intending to be a spicy face-off inside the Parliament, with Rahul Gandhi wanting to speak as well. But the House is adjourned, so it's now left hanging. The entire issue will be dealt with tomorrow. Rahul Gandhi, we believe, is supposed to be holding a press conference at 3 p.m. What's the likelihood? Where is this going to happen?
Well, absolutely. It has been confirmed now at 3 p.m. Rahul Gandhi will be holding a press conference at AICC headquarters. Remember, when he arrived at Parliament this morning, at that point of time also, he, when reporters asked whether he's going to speak inside the House, to which he says that if they are going to permit me, then I would certainly speak my mind. But given the fact that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both houses have been adjourned, and therefore, Rahul Gandhi and Congress party deemed fit to address a press conference at this point of time, because of the fact that the BJP is going hammer and tong on Rahul Gandhi, clearly putting in, a narrative that how Rahul Gandhi had gone, to a foreign university to a foreign country with a clear-cut intention to lower the dignity of Indian democratic institutions, and how he had, in fact, demeaned the very democracy to which, Rahul Gandhi and other politicians, hold in very high regard. So, therefore, the Congress party thought that, it is absolutely fit for Rahul Gandhi to address a PC at this point of time, given the fact that the BJP is in full attack mode. There for past 3 days, I was telling earlier also, senior BJP leaders have been fielded by the Fight Party to attack Rahul Gandhi. And in fact, given the fact that Congress Party felt that since they are trying to create this narrative and therefore we should deflect this criticism as to that Rahul Gandhi had in fact defamed the country. Therefore, Rahul Gandhi will now be addressing this press conference. Obviously, you can expect that he would be putting things in a clear perspective. He would try to, send out this message that he was not, his intention was not to defame the country. His intention was only to, speak ground realities that are prevailing in that country, and that's what he did when he was engaged in those foreign, engagements in London during his foreign visit.
All right. At this point, Rahul Gandhi, we know, is all set to address the parliament at 3 p.m. This is the latest update that we get. Rahul Gandhi, in fact, the Congress saying is Rahul Gandhi is a sher. He is going to respond to all those allegations leveled against him. In fact, the Congress on the whole trying to glorify what Rahul Gandhi did. He spoke extensively about India and Indian democracy being dead and asking for foreign sources or the United States and the EU to involve or keep a check on the Indian democracy that's undone. These are the words that he said, which the BJP has taken serious offense to, saying that this is a bid to defame India on an international stage, asking for foreign interference on internal matters of India. This is not right and it's unconstitutional. He must apologize. And this was what the logjam that was witnessed inside the parliament for the last 3 days, the fourth day today and counting. Tomorrow, let's hope there will be a more fruitful discussion going forward. Big news as an army aviation cheetah helicopter, we believe, has crashed in Arunachal Pradesh. The army helicopter flying an operational sortie near Bomdila, Arunachal Pradesh, was reported to have lost contact with the air traffic control at around 9:15 a.m. on 16th of March. That's this morning. And at 12:30 p.m., information was received from villagers from Bangjalep, that's the area. Bangjalep villagers have informed the Dirang police station that a crashed chopper was located and it's still burning. Search and rescue teams of the army, the SSB and the police have already left for the spot. As of now, no photos have been received. In fact, but the images that we see here are file shots that we show you. We do not have any pictures yet, but this is an army chopper and we're really worried for the people who are inside. Unlikely that they may have survived. That's what our reporter tells us. The weather today also was quite foggy. Visibility was minimum. We see that this army chopper has lost control at around 9:15 a.m. this morning. The Army aviation cheetah helicopter flying an operational sortie near Bomdila, Arunachal Pradesh, reportedly has crashed. Cutting across to my colleague Shiv Arur for more on that. Shiv, tell us more about this the helicopter that's crashed early this morning. Who may have been inside?
Nabila, we have a confirmation that the helicopter was being flown by 2 pilots, which is the regular number of crew that flies this helicopter. This is a cheetah helicopter that was flying west of Bomdila, which is a high altitude area not very far from the Tawang sector of Arunachal Pradesh. This particular helicopter was on a routine sortie and when it lost contact about 9:15 this morning. Now, the 2 pilots on board were a major and a lieutenant colonel. So mid-level officers who were flying this particular cheetah. We don't know just yet what happened to the helicopter, apart from the fact that it lost contact with the ground controllers, a little after 9 o'clock this morning. The helicopter itself, Nabila, was on a routine sortie. Helicopters fly in these areas quite a bit for patrolling, for logistics, for troop transport, transferring materials. Now, the Cheetah is a very light helicopter. It's a single-engine helicopter, which makes it, even more risky to fly, because there isn't a second engine to sort of save the helicopter, as it were, in case one of them fails. So the Cheetah has been the subject matter of a great deal of controversy for a very long time in the Indian Army, because the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force have been looking to replace these very old helicopters for a long time. These helicopters belong to an older generation. Even though the airframes themselves may not be that old, the technology, the navigation systems, etc., are quite old. So there has been an effort to replace these helicopters for a very, very long time, and that hasn't happened. So each crash, each accident that happens in this way is a tragic reminder of the lack of urgency and the lack of pace with which defense modernization by and large happens in this country. But the big focus right now will be on the search and rescue teams trying to get to the to the wreckage site. In helicopter accidents, unfortunately, there is no ejection mechanism. It's very difficult for the crew to get out unscathed. The search and rescue teams, Nabila, very likely fearing the worst at this time. Obviously, prayers are still on, but there's a major and a lieutenant colonel on board that helicopter. And we hope by some miracle they may have survived. But I can tell you that in helicopter crashes, especially in these, forbidding border areas, they're very, very difficult to survive. There have been very few occasions in which pilots have walked away with injuries from such accidents. One always has a prayer, and we'll have to wait to hear from the search and rescue teams now.
Highly unfortunate, Shiv. Thank you very much for joining us on that. Two of them on board still missing. Search and rescue operations have been fully launched. We're going to get you more details on that. You could log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download our app for more on that. For now, stay with us. Our India Today Entertainment Special coming up next.
हाँ सुनीता बोलो।
दरवाजे के बाहर खड़ी हूँ मैडम।
एक सेकंड। सेंड।
खुल गया मैडम।
Open doors from anywhere. The remote from Hefala Digital Locks comes with offline technology. Welcome to the future. Hefala, let's reimagine.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Oscar awardee Natu Natu's Ram Charan, the India moment. Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.